Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Welcome, everybody, back to another edition of Drunken Peasants Podcast. This is episode 1002, doing it live. We're going to do 1,000,000 of these. We'll each live for another 500 years, and we will get to episode 1,000,000.
Yeah.
Eventually. But tonight is kind of exciting. The State of the Union address is going to happen, and with all the turmoil going on around the world, that should be interesting to watch, and we will review it live. I'm keeping an eye on it right now to see when the president actually comes out. He'll come out momentarily. I did want to throw it out there. We have a new T-shirt because we have a thing called the Mother Load. You may have seen it during the intro here, where you're a $50 patron during that month and you get all these cool perks. There's a whole bunch of them, but the biggest one is an exclusive T-shirt that's only available for that month.
It's our band T-shirt for
It's the
our new
zebra
band.
It should be a boy band.
It's a boy band, the Zebra Effect. Zebra. White and black.
Effect.
Oh, shoot. Because
we need to rehearse more.
Zebras are white and black. But yeah, we'll figure it out. I was doing the second chorus.
Yeah, like our nickname, people could refer to us as The Effect.
The Effect.
I'm a big fan of The Effect.
Yeah, the affectionate are our fans.
Yes.
The affectionates.
We love all you affectionates out there.
We love you, affectionates.
Just believe in your dreams and you can achieve anything.
Yeah.
That's what like during a concert for that kind of music, that's how you get a cheap pop. There's always that inspirational speech in the middle of the show where they're like taking a breather. They're like, yes, I never thought I would be here in front of all you amazing people. But I know now, if you just believe in your dreams, anything is possible.
And then we'll do this. We'll go.
Yeah.
We'll be like, sink your hearts to the beat of the drum. And everybody's hearts will be pounding with the beats of our drums.
And then people will get defibrillated and drop.
A couple. Yeah, we got to lose a couple every show.
Yeah. Well, okay. So it looks like Biden will be fashionably late like Trump was. We covered one of Trump's. I don't remember which one it was. He had 4 of them. And he just showed up whenever the fuck he wanted to.
Yep.
He was the drive-through line at McDonald's was probably long.
Biden had to stop for ice cream, so.
Yeah, I had Biden chomping on some ice cream in the thumbnail here.
Better than what Egghead did with his Hershey syrup.
I have a request for a new shirt for next month, and I'll poll the audience.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a shirt. Alt-right leader of Scramble Stan. Eggs and Egg League.
The other night we were, I think it was during Actual Mania, we watched an Egghead video, and I paused it right where it looked like he was doing a Nazi salute, and we like to meme on Egghead, so we were just joking with, because Egghead will take your jokes like seriously, no matter how bad you're like
the Zebra
goofing on him.
Saved my life. I love that band.
Thank you.
Moon's over London.
I, for one, Egghead, am unbelievably saddened that you've turned to being
Cozy TV.
Yeah, I'm very sad.
Thick Fuentes over here, letting us all down. We thought you were one of the good ones, Egghead. We thought you were fighting
We're starting to F.
Wow.
Yeah. It'll happen in a second here.
It's probably from that alt-right symbolism.
I don't think that's how it works.
That instead of the symbol on the flag, it should just be the F circle where the symbol is. It's going to be a hard F.
Yeah. This happened last night, too, when I was trying to stream.
Weak. It's the atheist vote bots. That ain't right. Yeah.
Yeah, I only happen to have connection issues right when we start streaming.
I think it's
funny how
right
that
back
works.
now.
Yeah, we're back. It's gonna come in and out. And it always happens like right at the beginning of the stream.
It's very important everybody likes this right here, right now.
I don't even know if they can hear. Well, first we have to bypass the mainframe.
Oh, no. They hacked the Gibson?
Yeah. Look, Biden's coming out, so we're going to start watching that shit.
Bypass the Biden?
I don't know what is...
We may have been too based.
Yeah. And egg-pilled.
Oh.
All right, so yeah, we'll be back, guys. I think we're back now.
Yeah, I hit the
What strikes
refresh.
me as I'm watching this feed, though, is the number of Ukrainian flags you see lawmakers holding, the number of lawmakers who are wearing blue and yellow in solidarity with Ukraine.
Sounds like
And I should
Michigan
also
colors
say
to
I've been
me.
getting messages from some of my contacts on the ground
Is
in
Ukraine
Ukraine
secretly
who are
Michigan?
watching
Are they in
tonight,
cahoots
are
with
watching our live stream
Michigan?
and staying up late. It's 4 in the morning in Kyiv right now.
Everyone,
And
you
they
might
wanted
want to
be able see
adjust
what
your
President
quality
Biden has to
settings
say
too, because when we
live.
F out
So
and come
the
back,
challenge for him is
it always
enormous.
puts
He
us
has
to
both
like, what
message
is
to
it,
an American public who are
144p,
who are dealing with
144p.
inflation, and also speak to the rest
If
of the
you
world
refresh,
about
it'll
how
look like
the
a big,
US is
beautiful
gonna
steak. Right now, it looks like baby food.
Yeah, it looks really
NATO and
weird.
Western allies
Yeah,
and deter
I think we
Russia
get
in the midst of this
DDoSed. There's some
ongoing
prick out there
invasion
or
in
group
Ukraine.
of pricks
And we should
that
mention, too, foreign policy is something
do
that's
this
not
'cause they're
typically high on
assholes.
Americans' lists,
Somebody
so
thinks it's the
recommended and
pick
a
of
wanted
Kiev.
priority for the
Yeah.
president. But lately,
It's
it does
Russian-
rank
it's
up
Russian
there. Obviously,
bots.
the economy and inflation are the top concern for Americans, but in the sort of quartet of issues that
All right.
follow, Americans still say foreign policy is something that they want the president to pay attention to and should be
All
a
right,
priority.
Biden.
I'm Navaz watching.
What do you think he's going to
all
address
from the
first?
Senate House Office building. You see the president
We'll
receiving
see.
a warm greeting there in the House chamber. Both
If he's just like,
Democrats and
"How about those gas
Republicans,
prices?"
All of them seem to be
What?
standing.
I just flew in
and
from
applauding,
Albany,
as
and
they wait
boy,
for the
are my
president
arms
to speak.
tired. Where's his Choco chip?
Yeah, he's got 0 ice cream in his hand. That's surprising. He is doing a wave.
You know, the first time he slurs his speech, I'm going to drink a beer.
Uh-oh. The first time.
Yeah. The first slur I hear out of his mouth.
That woman is dressed in Ukraine colors, right?
Yeah, yes. And they said there's flags everywhere.
Thank you. Thank you all very, very much.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, change your quality
Please.
settings. Sorry, we
Thank you so
we
much.
effed out, but if you go in and manually change it, it'll get
Madam
better.
Speaker.
And
Madam Vice President, our First Lady and Second Gentleman, members of Congress and the Cabinet, Justice of the Supreme Court.
okay, he's
My
already
fellow
slurred.
Americans.
Just
You
the
better drink.
Supreme
Last
Court.
year, COVID-19 kept us apart.
Drinking it.
This year, we're finally together again.
Oh.
Tonight,
He focused on unity. That's what he's focusing on.
tonight we meet as Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, but most importantly, as Americans, with the duty to one another, to America, to the American people, to the Constitution, and an unwavering resolve that freedom will always triumph over tyranny.
Yeah, wait for you got to wait for them to clap, Joe.
Thank you.
Hooray.
I know you're new at this.
Hooray,
but
Joe Biden.
sit down, assholes. I'm not finished.
6 days ago, Russia's Vladimir Putin sought to shake the very foundations of the free world, thinking he could make it bend to his menacing ways. But he badly miscalculated. He thought he could roll into Ukraine and the world would roll over. Instead,
Roll on in.
he met with a wall of strength he never anticipated or imagined. He met the Ukrainian people.
Damn, don't make Pelosi stand too much. She's going to blow out a hip.
She's probably already spotting in her
President
seat.
Oh, my God.
Zelensky, to every Ukrainian, their fearlessness, their courage, their determination, literally inspires the world. Groups of citizens blocking tanks with their bodies. Everyone from students to retirees to teachers turned soldiers defending their homeland. And in this struggle, President Zelensky said in his speech to the European Parliament, "Light will win over darkness." The Ukrainian ambassador to the United States is here tonight, sitting with the First Lady. Let each of us, if you're able to stand and send
I thought he was trying to speak Ukrainian for a second there because he was slurring his speech so badly.
Thank you.
I heard the president of Ukraine voiced Paddington the bear in the Ukraine version of Paddington.
He did all kinds of acting before he got into politics. It's interesting. You know, I heard the translator for the president of Ukraine started crying while he was translating for the president because he's like so shook up by what's going on.
What's the over and under that Pelosi will turn into dust during the address?
I'm gonna give her a 70% chance of dust.
Yes.
Dude, Vitaly Klitschko is the mayor
stand
of
with the
Kyiv.
Ukrainian people. Throughout our history,
he's
we've learned
6'8"
this
and
lesson.
like
When dictators
270
do
pounds
not
or something
pay
like
a price
that.
Sounds
for their
almost as
aggression,
menacing as
they
the pig of
cause
Kyiv.
more chaos.
Boxing match between Vitaly Klitschko and the Pig of Kyiv. What's the over-under on that one?
I don't think the Pig of Kyiv has time for boxing.
I don't think he can.
That's why
I think
the
he got
NATO
enough time
alliance
to get
was
knocked out
created
immediately.
to secure peace and stability.
I don't think he'd be up for that.
World War II.
I don't know. I don't
The
talk to the
United
Pig of
States is a
Kyiv.
member,
I have no
along with
contact
29
with
other
him.
nations.
Vitaly Klitschko was
matters.
world heavyweight champion for
American
10 years.
diplomacy
And
matters.
the first person to beat
American
him.
resolve matters.
Split decision,
Putin's
Tyson
latest
Fury.
attack on Ukraine was premeditated and totally unprovoked. He rejected repeated efforts at diplomacy. He thought the West and
I love the
NATO
close-ups of the
wouldn't
people
respond.
sitting there.
He thought he could
I
divide
hope
us
you
at
catch
home,
someone picking their
in this
nose or
chamber, in this
something.
nation.
Pulling
He
a
thought he could divide
Fuentes.
us in Europe as well.
Or a
But Putin was
DSP.
wrong.
Ted Cruz playing pocket
We
pool.
are ready. We
Ted
are
Cruz pulling a
united,
DSP.
and that's what we did. We stayed united. We prepared extensively and carefully. We spent months building coalitions of other freedom-loving nations in Europe and the
Freedom-loving?
Americas, from
Yeah,
America
see,
to
he
the
cannot
Asian
say words.
and African continents to confront Putin.
Everyone like the stream, please.
Like many of you, I spent countless
They try to
hours
hold us
unifying
down,
our
but they
European
can't
allies.
stop us.
Click that like
We
button.
shared with the world in advance.
Like
And
that
subscribe,
click
please.
Putin
Please
was
also
planning,
subscribe.
and precisely how we would try to falsify and justify his aggression. We countered Russia's lies with the truth. And now that he's acted, the free world is holding him accountable, along with 27 members of the European Union, including France, Germany, Italy, as well as countries like the United Kingdom, Canada, Japan, Korea, Australia, New Zealand, and many others. Even Switzerland are inflicting pain on Russia and supporting the people of Ukraine. Putin is now isolated from the world more than he has ever been. Together,
I don't think he cares. He
found
doesn't seem to
my
care.
thrill.
I think he's fine in his largest country on earth. I think he's got plenty of room. I don't think he needs to worry about how the rest of the world views him. You're
Together,
not gonna have
along
any
with our
friends
allies,
anymore,
we are right
Vladimir.
now enforcing
He's
powerful
in Europe and
economic
Asia,
sanctions.
right?
Yeah,
We're cutting
it's-
off Russia's
yeah.
largest banks from the international financial system, preventing Russia's central bank from defending the Russian
mostly
ruble,
in Asia, but
ruble,
there's a good
making
amount in
Putin's
Europe, too.
$630 billion war fund worthless. We're choking Russia's access.
Yeah, we're
choking
putting
Russia's access
sanctions
to
on him.
technology that will
And
sap its economic strength and
their
weaken its
ruble,
military
whatever
for
it's
years
called,
to come.
dropped below one
Tonight,
American penny.
I say to the Russian oligarchs and
It
the
used to be
corrupt
worth
leaders
like 4
who built billions of
pennies
dollars off this
per
violent
ruble.
regime, no more.
Now
The
it's
United
less
States-
than 1.
This is a lot like what the credit card companies did to the
I mean
OnlyFans girls.
See, if you notice, he's getting a unanimous round of applause from everybody, the Republicans too here.
The United States.
So this is one
Department of Justice is
unifying
assembling a
issue
dedicated task
in many
force
ways.
to go after
It's
the
only the
crimes of
fascists
the
like Nick
Russian
Fuentes
oligarchs.
that are cheering for.
We're joining with European allies to find and seize their yachts, their luxury apartments, their private jets. We're coming for your ill-begotten gains. And tonight,
Ill-begotten
I'm announcing
gains.
that we will join our
Is that like
allies in closing
steroids?
off
Like
if you
American
do
airspace to
steroids,
all
the
Russian
gains are
flights.
ill-begotten?
They're
Further
ill-begotten.
isolating Russia and adding additional squeeze on their economy.
I wonder if we're going to get a lot of auctions now for seized Russian assets.
Yeah, when
He
the
has no
Swiss turned
idea
on
what's coming.
Putin, because he probably
The
didn't
ruble
think
has
that was going to
already
happen.
lost 30% of its value.
Switzerland normally
Russian
doesn't get
stock
involved in
market
anything.
has lost 40% of its value, and trading remains
40% of its value.
The Russian economy is reeling, and Putin alone is the one to blame. Together with our allies, we're providing support to the Ukrainians in their fight for freedom.
Do you remember Dan Quayle?
Military
He was
assistance,
the first Bush's
economic
vice president.
assistance, humanitarian
Yeah,
assistance.
there was
We're
one
giving
State of
more
the
than $1
Union
billion
that I watched with
of
my
direct
dad, and my
assistance to
dad kept
Ukraine, and
laughing
will
because it
continue
looked
to
like
aid
Dan
Ukrainian
Quayle was
people
falling
as they
asleep the whole
defend their
time.
country and help ease
Nodding
their
off.
suffering.
Listen to George H.W. Bush yak it up. It's hard to clap
let me
when there's
be
something in
clear.
your hand.
Our forces are not engaged and will not engage in the conflict with Russian
I
forces
like
in
this
Ukraine.
dress
Our
behind her.
forces are not going to Europe to fight Ukraine.
What, someone
but
wearing
to
a dress
defend our
behind her?
NATO
Yeah, it's like a
allies
very
in the event that
colorful-
Putin decides to keep moving
Is
west.
a smock? I don't know what to call
For
it.
that
frock?
purpose,
Is it a
we've
frock?
mobilized
I think a
American
smock is
ground
what you wear when you're
forces,
painting,
air
right?
squadrons,
Yeah,
ship
maybe it's a
deployments
frock
to
or a
protect NATO
smock
countries,
or-
including
I know
Poland,
it's not a jock.
Romania, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. And as I've made crystal clear,
He said
the
3
United
countries,
States
and he
and
made
our
it sound like
allies will
all
defend
one country.
every inch of
Latvia,
territory
Lithuania,
that is
and
NATO
Estonia.
territory with the full
Latvia,
force of our
Estonia.
To be fair,
collective
though,
power.
he
Every
spit 'em
single
out.
inch.
As drizzled as it was.
I knew someone a while back in the early days of DP that was a big DP fan, and they
And we're
lived
clear-eyed.
in
Ukrainians are fighting
Estonia,
back with
and
pure
they wanted to
courage.
buy my T-shirt,
The
but
next
it
few
looked
days,
like a
weeks, and
fucking
months
communist Russian
will be hard on
shirt,
them.
and they were
Putin
like,
has
I
unleashed
can't buy
violence and
that.
chaos.
All right, I can't wear it.
While
I
he
can't wear it
made
outside
gains on the
here.
battlefield,
That's.
he'll
I think a
pay
lot of people wouldn't want to buy
continuing
that
high price over
egghead
the
shirt
long run.
because of that.
And a
Because
pound
of the big old
Ukrainian
Right, it
Windows
was a joke.
95 symbol on it.
It was a
people,
joke.
Pound for pound, ready to fight with every inch of energy they have. They've known 30 years of independence.
What if they
have repeatedly
introduce
shown
Wolverine in
that
the
they will
Marvel
not
universe
tolerate
wearing
anyone
yellow
who
and
tries
blue,
to take their
the original
country
yellow and
backwards.
blue, but they say it's
To all
because he's
Americans.
supporting Ukraine?
I'll be honest with you, as I always promised I would be. A Russian dictator invading a foreign country has cost around the world. And I'm taking robust action to make sure the pain of our sanctions is targeted at Russian economy.
Jack Ripper, you may not
and that
want to
we
vote
use
for
every
Egghead.
tool
He's a
at our
confirmed
disposal
Nazi
to
now.
Protect American
Whoa.
businesses and consumers. Tonight,
Photos
I
don't
can
lie.
announce the United States has worked with 30 other countries to release 60 million barrels of oil from reserves around the world. America will lead that effort, releasing 30 million barrels of our own strategic petroleum reserve. And we stand ready to do more if necessary, united with our allies. These steps will help blunt gas prices here at home, but I know news about what's happening can seem alarming to all Americans. But I want you to know we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. When the history of this era is written, Putin's war in Ukraine will have left Russia weaker and the rest of the world stronger. Well,
All the people invested in
Well, it
oil
shouldn't.
will be richer because everyone's going to be paying out the ass for gasoline.
while it shouldn't have taken something so terrible for people around the
Turtle.
world to see what's at stake, now everyone sees it clearly. We see the unity among leaders of nations, a more unified Europe, a more unified West. We see unity among the people who are gathering in cities and large crowds around the world, even in Russia, to demonstrate their support for the people of Ukraine. In the battle between democracy and autocracies, democracies are rising to the moment, and the world is clearly choosing the side of peace and security. This is the real test, and it's going to take time. So let us continue to draw inspiration from the iron will of the Ukrainian people. To our fellow Ukrainian
Someone asked why does he
Americans,
squint so hard? Because he's reading a
towards the deep
teleprompter.
bond that
Marcy
connects our
Kaptur.
two nations.
She's
We stand with you. We stand with you.
she's Toledo's
Putin may circle Kyiv with
congresswoman.
tanks,
She's the longest
but he'll
serving
never gain
woman
the
in
hearts and
Congress.
souls of the Iranian people. He'll never extinguish their love of freedom, and he will never weaken the resolve of the free world.
I say fist fight boxing match between Putin and Vitaly Klitschko, and whoever wins gets Ukraine. Let's do it.
We meet tonight in an America that has lived through two of the hardest years this nation has ever faced. The pandemic has been punishing, and so many families are living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to keep up with the rising cost of food, gas, housing, and so much more. I understand, like many of you did. My dad had to leave his home in Scranton, Pennsylvania to find work.
He does squint
So like
so
many
much
of
it
you, I
almost
grew up
looks
in a
like he's in
family. When the
pain.
price of food went up, it was felt throughout the family. It had an impact. That's
He's
one
got
of the
old
first
people
things I
eyes,
did
too.
as president was fight to pass the American Rescue Plan. Because people were hurting. We needed to act, and we did. Few pieces of
That's
legislation have
Manchin,
done
right?
more at a critical moment in
Yeah,
our history.
no,
to
no,
lift us
that's
out
not
of a
Manchin.
crisis.
Or maybe it is.
It fueled our
I
efforts to
can't.
vaccinate
I
the
don't know who
nation
that
and
is,
combat
honestly. I
COVID-19.
don't think that's Manchin.
Delivered immediate economic
could be
relief
wrong.
to tens of millions of Americans. It helped put food on the table. Remember those long lines of cars waiting for hours just to get a box of food put in their trunk? It cut the cost of health care insurance. And as my dad used to say, it gave the people just a little bit of breathing room. Unlike the $2
Oh, your
trillion
dad used to
tax
say
cut
that?
passed in the previous administration that benefited the top 1% of Americans, the American Rescue Plan.
Oh.
The American Rescue
Oh,
Plan.
Schumer, half clap it. You didn't even
helped
clap,
working people
Schumer.
and left
What
no
was
one
that?
Come on, Schumer. You little fucker.
Folks,
Was that a dog whistle of some sort? What does this mean?
He was getting up to clap, and then
like-
nobody else was clapping.
He's like, Joe, my dick is this
it
big.
worked.
He heard the booing, and he got scared to start the clapping.
It worked. We created jobs, lots of jobs. In fact, our economy created over 6.5 million new jobs just last year. More jobs in 1 year than ever before in the history of the United States of America. The economy grew at a rate of 5.7 last year, the strongest growth rate in 40 years. And the first step in bringing fundamental change to our economy that hasn't worked for working people in this nation for too long. For the past 40 years,
He does not look
we
well.
were told
He looks like he's
the
going to
tax
cry.
rate for those at the top and benefits would trickle down and everyone would benefit. But that trickle-down theory led to a weaker economic growth, lower wages, bigger deficits, and a widening gap between the top and everyone else in nearly a century. Look, Vice
Nancy
President Harris
Pelosi
and
should
I
not
ran
be
for
nodding
office,
right now.
and I realize we
It's
have
amazing that
fundamental
Biden
disagreements
looks
on this,
older than Nancy
but ran for
Pelosi.
office with a new economic vision for America. Invest in America.
She must have had a lot of
Educate
plastic surgery
Americans.
and a lot of makeup.
Grow the workforce.
She's way
Build
older.
the economy from the bottom up and
How
the
much
middle
older
out,
can
not
she
from the
be?
top
Isn't he like
down.
80?
Because we know.
79, I think.
Let's see.
Because we know. Because we know when the middle class grows.
She's 81,
When the
so
middle
she's a
class
little bit
grows,
older.
the poor have a way up and the
Little
wealthy
bit.
do very well. America used to have the best roads, bridges, and airports on earth. And now our infrastructure is ranked 13th in the world. We won't be able to compete for the jobs of the 21st century if we don't fix it. That's why it was so important.
Buttigieg.
Booty
to pass
Judge.
the bipartisan
Joe went to high
infrastructure
school
law.
with his husband.
And I
Oh, yeah?
thank my Republican friends. who
Booty
joined.
Judge will probably have to wait until he's
To
70
invest.
to run for president with the way
Rebuild
things are going
America.
now. To like actually be a contender.
The single
We're letting all
biggest
the old
investment
geezers
in
be the top
history.
contenders.
It was a bipartisan effort, and I want to thank the members of both parties who worked to make it happen. We're done talking about infrastructure weeks. We're now talking about an infrastructure decade. And look,
I do think it's time to
going
rebuild the
to-
infrastructure, including especially
it's going to
the
transform
internet.
America to put us on a path to win the economic competition of the 21st century that we face with the rest of the world, particularly China. I've told Xi
China.
Jinping it's never been a good bet to bet against the American people. We'll create good jobs for millions of Americans, modernizing roads, airports, ports,
the dude
waterways.
below
all across
him
America.
looks like he's in agony.
And we'll do it to withstand the devastating effects of climate change.
It looks like he's sitting on the toilet trying to squeeze one
We'll
out.
build a national network of
You think
500,000
Ted
electric
Cruz
vehicle charging
jamming his
stations.
finger up the dude's ass?
Began to replace the poisonous lead pipes so every child,
Growing
every
a beard
American
was
has
the best
clean
thing that
water
ever happened
drink
to Ted
at home
Cruz.
and at school.
Not a lot of good things ever happened to Ted Cruz.
He decided to
We're
grow a
gonna
beard and it covered up an unfortunate part of his
provide
face.
affordable.
That it took away the
high-speed internet for
punchability
every
of his
American.
face.
That's beard theory
Rural,
for most men, though.
suburban, urban, and tribal communities. 4,000 projects have already been announced. Many of you have announced them in your districts. And tonight, I'm announcing that this year, we will start fixing over 65,000 miles of highway and 1,500 bridges in disrepair.
Okay.
Yay!
I mean, that's good. That's good.
That's work.
When we use taxpayers' dollars to rebuild America, we're going to do it by buying America. Buy American products. Support American jobs. The federal government spends about $600 billion a year to keep this country safe and secure. There's been a law on the books for almost a century to make sure taxpayers' dollars support American jobs and businesses. Every administration, Democrat and Republican, says they'll do it, but we're actually doing it. We'll buy America to make sure everything from the deck of an aircraft carrier to the steel on highway guardrails is made in America from beginning to end. All of it.
That's
All of
good.
it.
If this really happens, yay.
Yeah. We'll see if it actually
But
happens,
folks,
but, you know. The bill was already
compete for the
passed, right?
jobs
This is like the
of
infrastructure
future,
bill,
we
right?
also need
Pretty
to
sure
level
it
the playing
passed,
field
but-
with China and other competitors. That's why it's so important to pass the Bipartisan Innovation Act sitting in Congress that will make record investments in emerging technologies and American manufacturing. We used to invest almost 2% of our GDP in research and development. We don't now. China is. Let me give you one example why it's so important to pass. If you travel 20 miles east of Columbus, Ohio, you'll find 1,000 empty acres of land. It won't look like much, but if you stop and look closely, you'll see a field of dreams. The ground in which America's future
Kevin
will be built.
Costner?
That's where Intel, the American company that helped build Silicon Valley, is going to build a $20 billion semiconductor megasite.
People in the chat said that
to
when Nancy
8
Pelosi
state-of-the-art
smiles, she
factories
kind of
in
looks like
one
you.
place.
She's handsome.
10,000
She's a handsome
new jobs.
woman.
Yeah.
And in those factories,
Oh,
the
that's
average
Sherrod
job
Brown.
about
He's from Ohio, too.
$135.
Are they in Ohio right now?
$135,000 a year.
No, they're in D.C.
Some of the most
They're just showing all the
sophisticated
Ohio.
manufacturing
Well,
in
he's
the
talking
world.
about Ohio
Yeah,
right
he's talking
now.
about Ohio's. We had
Computer
the
chips, the
Toledo there.
size
Like,
of a fingertip. The power of the world in everyday lives, from smartphones, technology.
we're
that
trying to
is
lock
the
in
internet,
that
technology that's yet to be
2024
invented.
Ohio, right?
That guy,
That's just the
Sherrod
beginning.
Brown,
Intel
Rush
CEO
Limbaugh thought
Pat
he was
Gelsinger,
black. Rush
who's
Limbaugh
here
was
tonight.
reading a
I
news
know
story
who
about
Pat
him and
is.
just like
Pat,
assumed
there
he
you
was
go.
black
Pat,
because of his
stand
name.
up.
The CEO of Intel. Huh.
Patrick Gelsinger.
Pat,
They're building a superconductor in Ohio.
They're building
Pat
like a
came to see me,
manufacturing
and he
plant.
told me they're ready to increase their investment from $20 billion to $100 billion.
Which is good. I mean,
That
Shout out
would
to
be
big
the
homie
biggest
Sherrod.
investment in manufacturing in American history.
Going down to Browntown.
And all they're waiting for is for you to pass this bill. So let's not wait any longer. Send it to my desk. I'll sign it. And we'll really take off in a big way.
Who stands up for this? None of the Republicans. Nope. We like it. We like everything the way it
Intel
is,
is not
actually.
alone.
Is that not Manchin looking
There's
at his
something
phone?
happening in America.
I don't...
Just look around and you'll see
Look
an
up a
amazing
picture.
story.
No, that's Manchin.
The
I saw
rebirth of pride that
Manchin's
comes
over to
from
the left of that
stamping
guy.
products made in America. The revitalization of American manufacturing. Companies are choosing to build new factories here when just a few years ago they would have gone overseas. That's what's happening. Ford is investing $11 billion in electric vehicles, creating 11,000 jobs across the country. GM is making the largest investment in its history.
She used to be the governor of Michigan.
$7 billion to build
Jennifer
electric vehicles,
Graham,
creating
I think is her name?
4,000 jobs in Michigan. All told, 369,000 new manufacturing jobs were created in
smile
America
looks
last
devious.
year
I don't know.
alone. Folks,
Who's that kid
I
doing
don't know.
there? There's just a little kid there. He's like, "Hi, I'm the mayor of
yeah,
Hawaii
like
now.
people I've met, like
I'm the
JoJo
child
Burgess,
mayor of Hawaii."
from generations
Big
of union
Island.
steelworkers in Pittsburgh, who's here tonight. Where are you, JoJo?
Where are
There
you,
go.
JoJo?
Thanks, buddy. As Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown says,
That's not Sherrod Brown, is it?
No. That's who Trump thought Sherrod Brown was.
Yeah.
Or who Rush
Sherrod
Limbaugh
Brown
thought.
says it's time to bury the label Rust Belt. It's time.
It is known as the Rust
to
Belt.
see what
no.
used to be called the Rust Belt become
Damn it.
the
no.
of
Sleepy
significant
Joe!
resurgence of
Sleepy
manufacturing.
Joe!
And with all the bright spots in our economy, record job growth, higher wages, too many families are struggling to keep up with their bills. Inflation is robbing them of gains they
We
thought
used to call it the
otherwise
Rust Belt.
they would be able to feel. I get it. That's why my top priority is getting prices under control. Look, our economy roared back faster than almost anyone predicted. But the pandemic meant that businesses had a hard time hiring enough people because of the pandemic to keep up production in their factories. So you didn't have people making those beams that went into buildings because they were out. The factory was closed. The panic also disrupted the global supply chain. Factories close. When that happens, it takes longer to make goods and get them to the warehouses, to the stores, and prices go up. Look at cars last year. 1/3 of all the inflation was because of automobile sales.
Used
There weren't
cars were
enough
going through the roof
semiconductors to
too.
make all the cars that people
I
wanted
just saw
to
one of the
buy.
Congress people
And guess
from
what?
Washington.
Prices of
in there,
automobiles
too.
went way up, especially used vehicles as well. And so we have a choice. One way to fight inflation is to drive down wages and make Americans poorer. I think I have a better idea to fight inflation. Lower your costs, not your wages. Folks,
are any Republicans standing for that? No. Republicans hate high wages.
that means make more cars and semiconductors in America.
And they want
more
costs
infrastructure
high,
and
nice
innovation in America. More goods moving faster and cheaper in America.
It is very telling to see
more
what they
jobs
don't stand
we can
for
earn a good
and what they
living
do
in
stand
America.
for.
Instead of relying on foreign supply chains, let's make it in America.
I like the Make It in America
Look.
campaign.
Yeah, that's cool if they actually follow through with it. Let's,
Economists.
Okay, Republicans stand for make it in America, I guess. But how do they propose to do that? USA! Hacksaw Jim Duggan's coming to the ring.
Economists call this increasing the productive capacity of our economy.
I wish we would have got a "You fucked up"
I
chant
call
when he
it
was stumbling over the Rust
building a
Belt.
better America.
Oh no!
He's got the
My
cool
plan to fight inflation will lower your costs and lower the deficit. 17 Nobel laureates in economics said my plan will ease long-term inflationary pressures. Top business leaders, and I believe most Americans support the plan. And here's the plan. First, cut the cost of prescription drugs. We pay more for the same drug produced by the same company in America than any other country in the world. Just look at insulin. 1 in 10 Americans has diabetes.
They don't have those weird like medication
Virginia, I met a
commercials
13-year-old
in other
boy,
countries.
a handsome young man standing
Ask your
up there.
doctor.
Joshua Davis.
Oh, there he is. They're gonna suck the adrenochrome from that kid's head.
I guess that's Bill Gates.
both
Did he
have
clone
type 1
himself?
diabetes,
Put his brain in a child body?
which means they need insulin every single day. Insulin costs about $10 a vial to make. That's what it costs the pharmaceutical company. But drug companies charge families like
Yeah,
Joshua
I knew a
and his
guy
dad up to
who
30 times that amount.
had dual citizenship
Joshua's
between
mom.
the U.S. and the U.K. and he had
Imagine what
diabetes
it's like
since
to
he was
look
a
at your
kid,
child
and he moved there
who
and
needs
got it for
insulin to
free.
stay healthy
He had to like reuse
and have
syringes
no idea how in
and shit
God's name
in the
you're gonna be able
U.S.
to pay for it.
because he couldn't afford it.
What it does to your family, but what it does to your dignity, your ability to look your child in the eye.
We should stop talking about lowering
Be the
costs and
parent
talk
you
about
expect yourself to be.
proper
I really mean to
health
think about
care.
that. That's what I think about. You know, yesterday, Joshua's here tonight, but yesterday was his birthday. Happy birthday, buddy, by the way.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Whoa, he like marked
Joshua,
out. He's like, the president said happy birthday to me.
And 200,000 other young people with
Look at
type 1 diabetes.
He looks.
Let's cap the cost of insulin.
Is
at
that him being
$35
awkwardly
a month.
uncomfortable,
He
or
was
is that
like,
him being
please don't
excited?
sniff
So
my hair,
everyone can
Mr.
afford it.
President.
Not a hair sniff. Biden,
And
no.
drug companies will do very, very well. Their profit margin.
Mr. President, please don't sniff
All
my
right.
hair.
I know
I
we
love
have
the
great
child
disagreements
mayor
on
of
this floor with
Hawaii.
this.
He's my
Let's
new-
let
There's no
Medicare
mayor of
negotiate the
Hawaii.
price of
There's no
prescription
mayor of
drugs.
Hawaii.
There's no mayor of Hawaii.
Yeah, he's the mayor of the entire Big Island.
Well, excuse me, like mayor of
They
Honolulu.
already set the price for VA
Oh,
drugs.
there's Lindsey Graham, y'all.
Look, the American Rescue Plan is helping millions of families with Affordable Care Act plans to save them $2,400 a year on their health premiums. Let's close the coverage gap and make these savings permanent.
Kamala just like listen,
Second.
watching her like nod her head. Yeah, preach on. It's like
Let's cut energy
stupid.
costs for
I can't
families.
stand her. She's so fake.
An average of $500 a year
I just
by
like her
combating
outfit
climate
choice
change.
tonight.
Let's provide an
Yeah,
investment
whatever.
tax
She
credit
looks-
to
she's
weatherize
looking
your
good.
home.
She got that
and your
Dookie Brown business suit going
To
down.
be energy efficient and get a tax credit for it.
That's Dookie Brown right
Double
there.
America's clean energy production.
Dookie
and
Howser,
solar, wind, and
MD.
so much
Yeah.
more. Lower the price of electric vehicles,
Oh,
saving
damn.
another $80 a
AOC.
month that you're not going to have to pay at the pump. Folks, third,
AOC is so cheesecake.
the third thing we can do to
Everybody
change the
knows.
standard of living for hardworking folks is cut the cost of child care.
Pelosi's like, yeah, don't sit down.
Pelosi's knees can't handle all this up and down.
Folks, if you live in a major city in America, you pay up to $14,000 a year for child care per child. I was a single dad for 5 years, raising 2 kids. I had a lot of help, though.
Everyone like the stream.
I had
Please.
a mom, a dad, a brother, and a sister that really helped. But middle class and working folks
You also had
shouldn't have to
money,
pay
too.
more than 7% of their income to care for the young children. My plan,
It was sad though. His like daughter
plan
and
would
wife,
cut
his
the
first
cost
wife, and his daughter
of
killed in a
child
car
care in half for
accident.
most families. And help parents, including millions of women who left the workforce during the pandemic because they couldn't afford child care, to be able to get back to work, generating economic growth. But my plan doesn't stop there. It also includes home and long-term care, more affordable housing, pre-K for 3 and 4-year-olds. All these will lower costs to families. And under my plan, nobody, let me say this again, nobody earning less than $400,000 a year will pay an additional penny in new taxes. Not a single penny.
How about lowering our taxes? Like, and
I
then
may be
jacking up
wrong,
the taxes for those
but
rich
my guess is
fuckers.
if we took a secret ballot in this floor, that we'd all agree that the present tax system ain't fair.
Yeah, let's
We
change
have to
it.
fix it.
Got to fix that.
I'm not looking to punish anybody. But let's make corporations and wealthy Americans start paying their fair share. Look,
Oh, there's Warren.
Last year-
She shot out of her seat. Like, yeah.
last year,
She's rich though. They're all like most of these people are filthy rich.
Yeah, they can
Especially,
afford.
and Tom
yeah, and
Carper
especially people who have been in the game for
and
like
my
decades,
distinguished
like
Congresswoman.
Warren and Pelosi.
we
and-
come from the land of
Biden.
corporate America. There are more corporations incorporated in America than every other state in America combined. And I still won 36 years in a row. The point is, even they understand they should pay just a fair share. Last year, 55 of the Fortune 500 companies earned $40 billion in profit and paid zero in federal
Did
taxes.
he just do this?
Now look,
Did Biden just do one of
it's
these?
not fair. That's why I proposed a 15%
Biden.
minimum tax
We're
rate
on
for
to you.
corporations.
Okay.
Biden and Egghead.
We've got
Biden and Egghead.
Going to cozy.tv.
And
You
that's
think you
why
know somebody.
In the G7 and other meetings overseas, we're able to put together, I was able to be somewhat helpful, 130 countries agree on a global minimum tax rate. So companies can't get out of paying their taxes at home by shipping jobs and factories overseas. It'll raise billions of dollars. That's why I propose closing loopholes for the very wealthy who pay a lower tax rate than a teacher and a firefighter. So that's my plan, but we have to go more detail later. I'm going to grow the economy, lower the cost of families. So what are we waiting for? Let's get this
I hate
done.
how
We all know
people
we've
with
gotta
kids
make
get all the tax cuts too. Like when it comes to middle class people, you have to have a shitload
A lot
of
of
kids.
talk from Biden, but there was a lot of talk from Obama. So, how much did Obama deliver?
While you're at it,
Obama hardly
confirm my
delivered.
nominees for the Federal Reserve.
And
which plays a
we're about to hit a
critical role
midterm election where
in
he's going to
fighting inflation.
lose the Senate
My plan
and
will not
congressional
only lower costs
majority.
and give families a fair shot. It will lower
He couldn't
the
get
deficit.
shit done.
The previous
And it's because of
administration
some
not only ballooned the
bitch-ass
deficit
Democrats
with
that are
those
hardly
tax
even
cuts for very wealthy
Democrats.
corporations. It undermined
Mansion
the
and cinema.
watchdogs, the job of those to keep pandemic relief funds being wasted. Remember we had those debates?
Obamacare was a step in the right direction,
day
but there was
how
some
much money
serious
was being
problems
spent,
with
where
it.
was
But
it
it
going to the right
insured more
place?
people than it had ever been
Under
insured.
my administration,
the mandate was
the
stupid, though,
watchdogs
and
are
people
back.
got penalized for it. I'm glad
And
that's
we're
one
gonna
thing I
go
agree that
after
Trump
the criminals
got
who
rid of the
stole
mandate.
billions of relief
So-
money meant for small business and millions of Americans. Tonight, I'm announcing that the Justice
Merrick
Department will soon
Garland,
name a
Attorney
chief
General.
prosecutor for pandemic fraud.
Pandemic fraud?
And look,
I'm feeling like I need to be
I think we
standing
all
and
agree.
clapping.
Thank you. By the end of this year, the deficit will be down to less than half of what it was before I took office. The only president ever to cut the deficit by more than $1 trillion in a single year. Lowering your cost also meant demanding more competition. I'm a capitalist, but capitalism without competition is not capitalism.
They're cheering because
Capitalism
he said
without
he's a
competition
capitalist.
is exploitation. It drives up profits.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
And corporations have to compete. Their profits go up and your prices go up when they don't have to compete. Small businesses and family
There's Mitch
farmers and
McConnell
ranchers, I need not
crying
tell
again.
some of my
Hello,
Republican
darkness,
friends from
my
those
old
states.
friend.
Guess what? You got 4 basic meat packing facilities.
Hey.
That's it. You play with them or you
I've
don't
been
get to
known
play at all.
as a basic meat packer.
Pay a hell
He's
of a
doing the
lot
Four
more.
Horsemen,
A hell of a lot
you
more.
know,
There's only
loose.
He went from John
See what's
Cena
happening with Ocean
to
Carrier.
Four Horsemen.
Moving goods
Is he
in
going to
and
end it
out of
with a
America.
suck it?
He'll do
During the pandemic,
Generation X.
about half a dozen or less foreign-owned companies raised prices by as much as 1,000% and made record profits. Tonight, I'm announcing a crackdown on those companies overcharging American businesses and consumers. And folks, and as Wall Street firms take over more nursing homes, quality in those homes has gone down and costs have gone up.
What about the prisons,
That ends
too?
on my watch. Medicare is going to set higher standards for nursing homes and make sure loved
Medicare
ones get the
for
care
all.
they deserve. and
Sheldon
that they
White
expect,
House?
And they will look at closely.
That name
We're
almost
also
seems
going to
fake.
cut costs to keep
For
the economy
real.
going strong.
Sheldon
and giving
White
workers a
House.
fair shot. Provide more training and apprenticeships. Hire them based on skills, not just their degrees. Let's pass the Paycheck Fairness Act and paid leave. Raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour.
Oh,
And
there's
extend
no
the
Republican
child
standing
tax
for
credit
that.
So no one has to raise a family in poverty. Let's increase Pell Grants, increase our historic support for HBCUs, and invest
She's not
in what
happy.
Jill, our First Lady who teaches full-time, calls America's best-kept secret, community colleges. Look, let's pass the PRO Act. When the majority of workers want to form a union, they shouldn't be able to be stopped.
Is that Biden's
You know
slam
what?
piece?
I agree with that.
When we invest in
That's
our workers and we build an
Did you
economy
hear
from
that?
the
That's
bottom up and the middle out together,
some
we can do
act that they
something we
want
haven't
to
done in a
pass
long
where
time.
if workers
Build
want to
a better
unionize, they
America.
shouldn't be able to be stopped.
For more than 2 years, COVID
Yeah,
has
that's-
impacted
Biden
every
was talking about
decision
that
in our lives.
on his inauguration too,
and the
I
life
think,
of this
right?
nation.
I don't know.
And I know you're tired.
He's been
frustrated,
speaking up
and
at
exhausted.
4 unions
That doesn't even count.
for a while.
Close to 1 million people who sit at a dining
where's it
room
gonna
table or
go?
a kitchen table and look at an empty chair.
Yet $15 an hour
Because they
should have
lost somebody.
came like 5, 6,
also
7,
know
8
this.
years ago.
Because of the
15
progress
is not
we've made,
enough now,
because of
especially
your
with all the
resilience
inflation.
But even $15 an
and the
hour as a
tools
national
that we have been provided by
would
this
be
Congress.
a good start.
Tonight I can
I
say
mean,
we're
anything
moving forward
more is better,
safely.
But like right
Back
now,
to
I think
a
it's like still
more
like
normal
$8, $9
routines.
nationally.
Something like that.
We've reached
Yeah.
a new moment in the fight against COVID-19.
I saw Dick's
Where
Drive-In
severe
starts at
cases are down to a
$19
level
an
not
hour
seen
for
since
burgers.
July of last year. Just a few days ago, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention issued a new mask guidelines. Under the new guidelines, most Americans
Other than the new guidelines?
in most of the country can now go mask-free. And based on projections,
Oh
more of the
no!
country will reach a point
Boo!
across that point
Boo!
across
Crazy
the
bitch!
Why
next
is she
couple
not
of
clapping
weeks.
for mask-free?
Thanks to the progress we've made in the past year, COVID-19 no longer need control our lives. I know some are talking about living with COVID-19, but tonight I say that we never will just accept living with COVID-19. We'll continue to combat the virus as we do other diseases. And because this virus mutates and spreads, we have to stay on guard. And here are 4 common sense steps as we move forward safely, in my view. First, stay protected with vaccines and treatments. We know how incredibly effective vaccines are. If you're vaccinated and boosted, you have the highest degree of protection.
We need stuff
We'll
in
never
place
give
to
up on
counteract
vaccinating
the
more
propaganda
Americans.
machine that
Now, I know parents with kids under
makes
5
people
are eager to see
paranoid
their
to get
vaccines authorized for their
vaccinated.
children.
That's a big deal.
Scientists
I
are
see
working
some
hard to
local
get that
commercials
done.
about
We'll be
that.
ready with
They're
plenty
like,
of vaccines
trust
if and when they
doctors
do.
about it, not the internet.
We're all ready.
There's like an ad campaign. That
We
said
When
are
I was up in
also
Snohomish,
ready with antiviral treatment.
there was like
If you
billboards
get
that were like
COVID-19, the
pro
Pfizer pill reduces your
questioning
chances of
everything.
ending up in the hospital by
I don't
90%.
know. I mean, it is.
I've ordered
It was like a
more pills
religious
than
billboard,
anyone in
and
the
they were
world.
like,
Those religious
"Trust in
billboards
God."
are crazy.
Pfizer's working
Yeah.
overtime to get us 1 million pills this month and more than double that next month. And now we're launching the Test to Treat initiative. So people can get tested at a pharmacy, and if they prove positive, receive the antiviral pills on the spot at no cost.
Yeah, the pills are coming out.
Folks,
Those should help. Yeah, I saw some crazy
If you're
billboards when I was a
immo-
kid. Because we took a family vacation from Ohio
If you're
down to Florida to go to
immunocompromised
Disney
or
World.
have some other vulnerability,
Through the deep
we
south,
have
there's some
treatments
crazy billboards
and free
out
high-quality
there.
masks. We're leaving no one
Religious
behind or
ones.
ignoring anyone's needs as we move forward. On testing, we've made hundreds of millions of tests available, and you can order them for free to your doorstep. And we've already ordered free tests. If you already ordered free tests tonight, I'm announcing you can order another group of tests.
Oh.
Go to covidtest.gov starting next
What is
week,
it?
and
The
you can
dot
get more tests.
period?
Second, we must prepare
Nick
for new
Fuentes' friend?
variants. Over the past,
That guy
we've gotten
looks
much
more
better at
manly than
detecting
Nick
new
Fuentes.
variants.
Slightly.
If necessary, we'll be able to develop new vaccines within 100 days instead of maybe months or years. And if Congress provides the funds we need, we'll have new stockpiles of tests, masks, pills ready if needed. I can't promise a new variant won't come, but I can
promise you I will come
We'll do everything within our
tonight.
power to be
Right,
ready if
Nancy?
it does. Third, we can end the shutdown of schools and businesses. We have the tools we need. It's time for America to get back to work and fill our great downtowns again with people. People working from home can
We
feel
filled
safe
our
and begin to
downtowns
return
with
to their
people,
offices.
people living in tents.
We're doing that
Yeah.
here in the federal government. The vast
That's-
majority of federal workers.
that's most of the people
will
downtown
once again
in
work in person.
Seattle
Our
and
schools are
Portland.
open. Let's
It's
keep
like
it that
that.
way.
I've been seeing
Our
so
kids
much
need to be in
propaganda
school.
showing off the homeless downtown Seattle.
It did get out of control though. Like Pioneer Square became a homeless encampment. You know, that
Yeah.
whole like little park right there.
There's like a ton of people making videos of it and putting it out there.
75% of adult,
yeah.
75% of adult
Como,
Americans
Fisher
fully
Media.
vaccinated.
was making
And
like slam pieces
hospitalizations
against the
down
door.
by
Yeah, Seattle is dying,
77%.
like that kind of shit.
Most Americans can remove their
Cuomo
masks
news.
and stay in the classroom and move forward safely. We achieved this because we provided free vaccines, treatments,
It
tests,
almost
and
looks
masks.
like
Of course, continuing this costs
Kamala's
money.
like working
So I'm not
some
surprised
puppet
we'll be back to
strings,
see y'all.
and Biden's doing.
I'm going to soon send a request to Congress. The vast majority of Americans have used these tools and may want again. We may need them again. So I expect Congress, and I hope you'll pass that quickly. Fourth, we'll continue vaccinating the world. We've sent 475 million vaccine doses to 112 countries, more than any nation on earth. We won't stop because you can't build a wall high enough to keep out a vaccine. The vaccine can stop the spread of these diseases. You know, we've lost so much in COVID-19. Time with one another. The worst of all, the loss of life. Let's use this moment to reset. So stop looking at COVID as a partisan dividing line. See it for what it is.
A money-making
god-awful disease. Let's stop seeing each other as
She looks
enemies
very unhappy.
and start seeing each other for who we are.
Cool shirt though.
Fellow Americans.
It looks like she's about to do some like classical music.
No, it kind of looked to me like she was about to play in a Prince cover band.
Yeah. I was thinking Beethoven, but Prince is realistic.
If her
as
shirt,
well.
if her shirt would have been purple, it would have been perfect.
We can't change how divided we've been. There's a long
Yeah, we
time
can.
coming. But
We can change how divided
to
we've
move
been.
forward on COVID-19 and other issues that we must face together. I recently visited New York City Police Department days after the funerals of Officer Wilbur Mora and his partner, Officer
These
Jason
slurs.
Rivera.
So bad.
They were responding to a 9/11 call when a man shot and killed them with a stolen gun. Officer Moore was 27 years old. Officer Rivera was 22 years old. Both Dominican Americans who grew up in the same streets that they later chose to patrol as police officers.
It's weird that they're all like looking at
I
their
spoke with
phones
their
and
families.
shit. It's like,
And I told them they were
Why are they
forever
even
in debt
there?
for their sacrifices. And we'll carry
I'm
on our
tweeting
mission to
live
restore
from
the
the State
trust
of the
and
Union
safety
address.
American community deserves. Like some of you that have been around for a while, I've worked with you on these issues for a long time. I know what works. Investigating crime prevention and community policing, cops who walk the beat, who know the neighborhood, and who can restore trust and safety. Let's not abandon our streets or choose between safety and equal justice.
He's
Let's
got a
come
ton of
together and
Botox
protect
in
our
his
communities,
in his
restore
forehead.
trust, and hold
There's like
law
this really
enforcement
smooth
accountable.
area right here.
That's why the Justice Department has required body cameras,
and then like
ban
here,
chokeholds, and
it's a
restricted
little more
no-knock
wrinkly.
warrants for its officers. That's why the American Rescue Plan that you all provided $350
He has
billion
lines like here that just suddenly
that
stop
cities,
when they get to
states
here.
and counties can use
It's weird.
to hire more police, invest in more proven strategies. Proven strategies like community violence interruption, trusted messengers, breaking the cycle of violence and trauma, and giving young people some hope. We should all agree the answer is not to defund the police. It's to fund the police.
It's to have fun with the police.
Yes, fund the police. Fund the police, fund the police, fund them. Fund the police, fund the police.
Mansion's
fund
on the
'em.
far left right now.
Fund them
next
with
to the
resources
live
and
thing.
training.
That's
Okay,
Mansion.
yeah.
Resources and training they need to protect our communities. I ask Democrats and Republicans alike to pass my budget and keep our neighborhoods safe. And we'll do everything in my power to
They're
crack
like,
down
no,
on gun
no,
trafficking.
we're gonna keep going.
Ghost guns that you can buy online, assemble at home.
Ghost
serial
guns are
numbers.
just
Can't be traced.
just a product of the
Congress to pass
pandemic, just
proven
like
measures
ghost
to reduce gun
kitchens.
violence. Pass universal background checks. Why should anyone on the terrorist list be able to purchase a weapon? Why? Why?
Why should anybody on the terrorist list be able to purchase a weapon? Do we have a
Assault
terrorist
weapons with
list?
high-capacity
Oh, yes.
magazines hold up 100 rounds.
Yes.
You think the deer are wearing Kevlar vests? Look, repeal the liability shield. It makes gun manufacturers the only industry in America that can't be sued. The only one.
What are people on the terrorist list not allowed to do?
Imagine had
They're
we
allowed
done
to
that with
purchase
tobacco
guns,
manufacturers.
but they
These
can't
laws don't
fly.
infringe on the Second
Well,
Amendment.
purchase guns,
They
he
save
means buy
lives.
ghost guns.
The most fundamental
Bo
right
Burt.
in America is the right to vote.
She
and
had the
have it
like
counted.
gun.
And
you
look,
know,
The restaurant.
it's under
Yeah.
assault.
yeah.
In state after state, new laws
She looks
have been
like
passed.
a sorority girl. You know
Not
what I
only
mean?
suppress
Like, she
the
has
vote,
that
we've
kind
been
of
there
look.
before,
She
but
just
to
wants
subvert
terrorists
the
to buy
entire
guns.
election. You can't let this happen. Tonight I call on the Senate to pass the Freedom to Vote Act, pass the John Lewis Act, Voting Rights Act.
If we're gonna ban ghost guns,
And while you're at it,
we should
pass
have a
the
program
Disclose Act so Americans know
to give
who's funding
felons
our election.
access to guns again.
You know how many people are buying up ghost
Tonight,
guns right now before they
I like
ban
to honor
them?
someone
When
who
it comes to
dedicated his
police, I
life to
think
serve
what would
this country.
Gigi Allen do?
Justice
He'd poop in his
An
hand
Army
and throw it
veteran.
at him.
Constitutional scholar, retiring Justice of the United States Supreme Court. Justice Breyer, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for your
You're
service.
welcome. You're welcome, Joseph Biden. You're welcome. You're so welcome. I worked so hard for you, country of America. You're so welcome. Thank you very much. I like my cake now. I was told there would be cake.
We all know.
Is there cake?
No matter what your ideology, we all know one of the most serious constitutional responsibility a president has is nominating someone to serve.
Oh, it means a
You
lot to
shouldn't
him.
have
States
Joseph
Supreme Court.
Biden. You shouldn't have.
As I did 4 days ago, I've nominated the Circuit Court of Appeals, Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Sorry,
One of
Miss
our nation's
Jackson.
top legal minds.
And for
Is she
real?
there? Are they going to show
Where's
her?
Ketanji Brown Jackson at?
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Legacy of excellence.
Oh, is she not there?
A former top litigator in private practice, a former federal public defender, from a family of public school educators and police officers. She's a consensus builder. Since she's been nominated, she's received a broad range of support, including the Fraternal Order of Police and former judges supported by
Fop.
Democrats and Republicans.
She's a fop.
Folks, if we're to advance liberty and justice, we need to secure our border.
Is
and fix the
advanced
immigration
liberty and
system.
justice like advanced Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, AD&D. Attention deficit disorder. Oh, even Cruz is gonna clap for that
Look
one.
at Cruz standing up. Stand up.
I will stand and clap in support of this one.
And as you might guess, I think we can do both. At our border, we've installed new technology like cutting-edge scanners to better detect drug smuggling. We've set up joint
fuck this.
patrols
I don't
with
give a shit
Mexico
about
and
this.
Guatemala to catch more human traffickers. We're putting in place dedicated immigration judges in significant larger number.
How about
so
focus more
families
on the
fleeing
trafficking
persecution
and not so
violence
much on
can
the
have their
drugs?
cases heard faster, and those
Kirsten
who don't legitimately hear can be
Gillibrand.
sent
Gillibrand.
back.
I think she's been around a
We're
long
screening,
time.
we're securing commitments and supporting partners
She's also looking at
in
her
South
phone.
and Central
No one gives a
America
fuck
to
about
host
what this
more
guy's saying.
refugees and secure their
But
own
Kamala,
borders.
since she's
We can
on
do all this while keeping
screen,
lit the
she
torch
has
of
to be like,
liberty that has led to
Can't
generations of
build a
immigrants
wall
to
to
this
stop
land.
vaccines.
My forebears and many
that was
of yours.
painful.
Provide a pathway to citizenship for dreamers.
This,
So
Those
what-
with temporary status.
what was that
farm
word
workers,
that he
essential
said?
workers.
I feel like Nancy
Survive our
Pelosi knows
laws.
what he said because she's also drunk.
that
So
she
businesses
slurs
have
too. They
workers
both do.
need.
I think they're
Families don't wait
medicated.
decades to reunite.
I like
It's not
how
only the right thing to
Pelosi
do,
and
it's
Biden
economically
slur so
smart
much,
thing to do.
yet are still
That's
easier
why
to
the
listen to
immigration
than
reform
Kamala.
is supported
think
by
they
everyone
bang?
from
You
labor
think-
unions
you
to
think they
religious
bang?
leaders
They
to
probably
the
did
U.S.
some
Chamber
fucking
of Commerce.
schmutzkapoop
Yeah.
Let's get it done once and for all.
once
All
and for
right,
all.
so everyone out there,
Folks,
if there was a Biden Pelosi porn on the internet, would you
advancing
watch
liberty
it?
and
Okay,
justice
for
also
one,
requires
that question's not
protecting
deep
the
enough.
rights of women.
What decade
Constitutional right
is the
affirmed by Roe
latest
v. Wade,
decade you would
standing
watch a
precedent
Biden
for
and
half a
Pelosi
century is
porn?
under attack as never before.
I think
You
a
wanna go
mid-90s
forward, not
Biden and
backwards. You
Pelosi
must
porn
protect access
would,
to health care.
would be
Preserve a
passable.
woman's right to
I think
choose.
Biden,
And
older
continue to
Biden's better
advance maternal
than younger
health care
Biden.
for all Americans.
The problem is you have to get that sweet spot where Pelosi was still hot.
Folks,
I'm talking about a present
for
day
our
one. Though.
LGBTQ plus
Yeah, I'd still
Americans,
watch.
let's finally get the bipartisan
I
Equality
wanna
Act
see,
to my desk. The onslaught of state laws targeting transgender Americans and their families. It's simply
Tangential
wrong.
Americans?
I said last year, especially to our younger transgender Americans, I'll always have your back as your president so you can be yourself and reach your God-given potential.
Your God-given potential.
Folks,
I'm polling the audience right now if they'd watch
just
the video.
demonstrated,
Don't
all
lie.
often appears we do
Be
not
honest.
agree. And
Be
that-
honest about it.
We do agree on a lot more things than we acknowledge. I signed 80 bipartisan bills into law last year, from preventing government shutdowns, to protecting aging Americans from still too common hate crimes, to reforming military justice.
Someone said, I'd
and will
be
soon
in
be
it.
strengthening the Violence Against Women Act that I
Savage.
first wrote 3 decades ago. And it's important. It's important for us to show the nation we can come together and do big things.
Oh,
So tonight
they
I'm
were starting
offering
to
a
gossip
unity
back
agenda
there.
for the nation. 4 big things we
Pelosi
can
and
do together.
Harris back
Mike.
there.
First, beat the opioid epidemic.
I'm sorry, I'm on opioids
can
right
do.
now. I can't talk clearly.
Increased funding for prevention, treatment,
AOC.
harm reduction, and recovery. Get rid of outdated rules and stop doctors stop doctors prescribing treatments. Stop the flow of illicit drugs
Oh
by
my
working with state and
God.
local law enforcement.
He's one of the most
to go after the
inarticulate
traffickers.
presidents in my
And if
lifetime.
you're suffering from addiction, you know
George
you know
Bush,
you're not alone.
George W. Bush
I
was
believe
also
in
very
recovery, and I
inarticulate.
celebrate the 23 million Americans in recovery. Second, let's take on mental health.
Those are like probably
Especially
the 2
among our
most
children whose
inarticulate
lives
presidents
and
in my
education
lifetime.
have been turned upside down. The American Rescue
thought that was
Plan gave
Willem
schools
Dafoe.
money to hire teachers and help students make up for lost learning. I urge every parent to make sure your school does just that. They have the money.
Willem
We
Dafoe
can all
in
play a
drag.
part. Sign up to be a tutor or a mentor. Children were also struggling before the pandemic. Bullying, violence, trauma, and the harms of social media. As Frances Haugen, who is here tonight with us, has shown, we must hold social
He had-
media
he
platforms
had to, like, look
accountable
closer at the
for
teleprompter
the
to say her
national
last
experiment
name.
they're conducting on our children
Frances
for profit.
Haugen.
Facebook whistleblower.
Come down here, dear. Let me smell your hair. Let me whisper into your
Thank
ear
you.
a little bit.
Thank you for the courage you showed. It's time to strengthen privacy protections. Ban targeted advertising to children. Demand tech companies stop collecting personal data on our children. And let's
Yeah, no
get
more
all
K-pop
Americans
groups
the mental health
endorsing
services they
fast
need.
food, okay?
More people can turn for help and full
get rid
parity
of this.
between
Should've
physical
known.
and mental health care.
The second we had a Rick and Morty nugget sauce meltdown,
Yep.
the K-pop stands wouldn't be far behind.
That was the beginning of the end. You ever seen those people on Twitter that only reply to people
third
with
piece of that
gifs of
agenda
K-pop girls
Support
dancing?
our veterans.
Like that's
Veterans are
That's
the
literally
backbone
their response.
and the spine of this
how did
country.
that start?
They're the best
People are
of
weird.
us. I've always believed that we have a sacred obligation to equip those we send to war and care for those and their family when they come home.
I
My
noticed the
administration
court
provided
people and the
assistance
military
in
people
job training,
don't
housing,
usually
and now
stand up.
helping
They just sit
lower-income
there the whole
veterans
time.
Get VA care debt-free. And our troops in Iraq in Afghanistan have faced many dangers. One being stationed at bases breathing in toxic smoke from burn pits. Many
What
of you
is
have been there.
Pelosi doing with her
I've been in
knuckles?
and out of
Rubbing
Iraq
her
and
wrists
Afghanistan
together.
over
What the fuck is
40
that?
times. These burn pits that incinerate waste.
Burn pits?
The waste of war, medical and hazards material, jet fuel, and so much more. And they come home. Many of the world's fittest and best trained warriors in the world. Never the same. Headaches, numbness, dizziness.
Nausea,
Cancer
heartburn,
that would put them
indigestion,
in a
Upset
flag-draped
stomach.
coffin.
diarrhea.
I know.
Lindsey Graham. hi.
One of those soldiers was my son, Major Bo Biden. I don't know for sure if the burn pit that he lived near, that his hooch was near in Iraq.
His hooch?
and earlier than that, in Kosovo, is the cause of his brain cancer, the disease of so many other troops. but I am committed to find.
I like how
out
Biden
everything
can be
we
like, I don't know if this is what's
Committed.
going on, but if we make a
Military
medical
families like
speculation,
Danielle
we get.
Robinson from Ohio, the widow
He's
of
like, I
Sergeant
don't
First
know.
Class Heath
Careful,
Robinson.
Biden. No
He
medical
was born
misinformation
a soldier.
tonight.
He just said this
Army
woman's from
National
Ohio.
Guard,
This is a very
combat medic
Ohio-centric
in
State of the
Kosovo and
Union
Iraq.
address.
Yeah.
Stationed near Baghdad, just yards from burn pits the size of
So
football
he's saying like
fields.
burn pits or make
Danielle
people
is here
sick.
with us tonight. They love going to Ohio State football games.
OH, we're taking over. We're taking over the government.
And he loved building Legos with their daughter. But cancer from prolonged exposure to burn pits ravaged Heath's lungs and body. Danielle says Heath was a fighter to the very end. He didn't know how to stop fighting, and neither did she. Through her pain, she found purpose to demand that we do better. Tonight, Danielle, we are going to do better. The VA is pioneering new ways of linking toxic exposure to disease, already helping more veterans get benefits. And tonight, I'm announcing we're expanding eligibility to veterans suffering from 9 respiratory cancers. I'm also calling on Congress to pass a law to make sure veterans devastated by toxic exposure in Iraq and Afghanistan finally get the benefits of the comprehensive health care they deserve.
Is Pelosi about to feed on a baby? Like,
Yeah, she's.
for real. I'm glad that they're giving some help to these veterans.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a good thing.
That's the thing
Fourth
everyone
and last,
stands for. You'd
let's
look like an
end
asshole if you
cancer as we
weren't,
know
right?
it. This is personal.
Nancy's getting a ton of exercise tonight.
I feel like she's trying to run off that little boy mayor of Hawaii. She wants his adrenochrome.
This is personal to me and to Jill and to Kamala and so many of you. So many of you have lost someone you
Almost
love.
an upskirt shot
and
there.
wife.
They need to
On
be
the
a little
first
careful.
lady.
They need to be a little careful
Yeah.
over that camera.
Cancer is the #2 cause of death in America, second only to heart disease. Last month, I announced the plan to supercharge the cancer moonshot that President Obama asked me to lead 6 years ago.
I know
Our
her
goal is to
face, but
cut
I can't
cancer
remember her
death
name
rates
right now.
Is
by
that
at least
Debbie
50%
Wasserman
over the
Schultz?
next 25 years. I think we can do better
Yes.
than that. Turn cancers from death sentences into treatable diseases. More support for patients and their families. To get there, I call on Congress to fund what I called ARPA-H, Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health. Patterned after DARPA in the Defense Department.
DARPA.
Projects that led in DARPA to the
DARPA.
internet, GPS, and so much more to make our forces more safer and be able to
More
wage war
safer.
More
clarity.
safer.
Wow.
DARPA will have a singular purpose: to drive breakthroughs in cancer, Alzheimer's and diabetes, and more. A unity agenda for the nation. We can do these things. It's within our power. And I don't see
That's
a partisan
Manchin.
edge to any one of
Yeah,
those.
looking
4
grumpy
things. My fellow Americans,
from wet vagina.
we've gathered in this sacred space,
Probably the worst state
a
in the
citadel
entire
of
country.
democracy. In this
Sorry
capital,
for anyone who lives in West Virginia. I just would
generation
never wanna
after
live there.
generation of Americans have debated great questions,
New Jersey's up there
made
too.
great strife.
West
We've done
Virginia.
great things.
Mom.
We fought for freedom.
You know, in that
Expanded liberty.
song, they're actually talking about
Debated
Western Virginia, not
totalitarianism
West Virginia.
and terror.
Damn.
Yeah.
We
Poor
built
West
the
Virginia.
strongest,
Yep.
freest, and most prosperous nation the world has ever known. Now is the hour.
Mitt. I can't
Our
believe his name is
moment of
Mitt.
responsibility.
What a weird name.
Our
that guy was
test
almost
of resolve
president.
and conscience of history itself. It is in this moment.
He does
that
kind
our
of look like
character of
an
this
like an
generation is
old
formed.
politician
Our purpose
version of
is
like
found.
a Ken doll.
Our future is
You know what
forged.
I mean? He's got like the
Well, I know this nation.
and you know
We'll meet the test.
his grandfather was
Protect
a
freedom and
polygamist.
liberty. Expand fairness and opportunity.
He probably has
And
7
we will
hidden
save
wives himself.
democracy As hard as
Well,
those times
that's
have
not
been, I'm
legal,
more optimistic
but-
about America
It's
today
illegal.
than I've been my whole life because I see the future that's within
His
our
father was
grasp.
born in Mexico because
I know
he was
there's
born
simply
on a
nothing
compound where
beyond our,
Mormons
our
practice
capacity.
polygamy.
We're the only
They had to
nation
go
on earth
there
that has always turned
to do it
every
legally.
crisis we faced into an opportunity. The only nation that can be defined by a single word, possibilities. So on this night, on our 245th year as a nation, I've come to report on the state of the nation, the State of the Union. And my report is this: the State of the Union is strong because you, the American people, are strong.
Cheap pop.
We are stronger
Yeah.
today.
And it's great to be back here
We are
in
stronger today than we
Washington,
were a year
D.C.
ago. And we'll be stronger a year from now than we are today. This is our moment. To
We
meet
were in
and overcome the
Baltimore last
challenges of our
night,
time.
and it sucked.
And we
It's
will.
great to be back in
As
D.C.,
one people,
where
one
the
America,
crowds are the best.
United States of America. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you. Go get him.
Go get him. Uh-oh.
Is it about Putin?
I think so. God protect our troops.
Was that
Go
a
get him.
declaration of war right there?
House
Like,
Speaker Nancy Pelosi,
go get him.
Shaking hands with her and
Go
with
get
Vice
him.
President Kamala Harris after a 1 hour and
Oh,
2
dude.
minute
Is he going to fall?
State of the Union
Let's see.
address, starting out on Ukraine, rallying Americans to support the Ukrainian people who are
Oh,
right
what's
now
her name? She ran for
struggling
president.
to
What's her name?
survive
Klobuchar?
against the Russian
Yeah,
Klobuchar.
Klobuchar. Yeah.
The president moving on after 15, 20 minutes of talking about Ukraine, moving on
there's
to
Willem
talk
Dafoe.
about the challenges
Yeah.
of his administration.
Fucking Green Goblin.
Domestic,
The White House? Oh, no.
voting rights, the strength of the country, and then as you hear in the last few minutes, moments of the speech, coming back
Yeah,
to
may God protect our
democracy.
troops. Let's get him.
And
Was
calling
Biden supposed
on
to announce
nation
the
to come
award?
together,
Did
saying
Biden just let it
this is,
slip? Was that
our moment of
an
responsibility,
MCU
our test
Marvel
of
Universe
resolve and
spoiler? Like
conscience
That was his,
of
like,
history
stand back and
itself.
stand by.
He said, it is in this moment that our
Go get
character
him.
is formed. A
Go
character
get
of this generation,
him.
Our purpose is found.
Okay,
our
we got to
future
hear the rebuttal, the
is
Republican
formed.
rebuttal.
The president making a point.
That woman
to
right
appeal
there,
to unity at a time
the
when the
woman with the dark
country
hair and the blue
is
dress,
so
she's from
clearly
Washington. I
divided,
can't remember her name right now.
she looks very short next to the man
As we
next
watch
to her.
President
She looks
Biden,
very tall.
Oh, she's
leave
giving the Prez
House
a hug.
chamber, greeting House members, Senate members, Pramila Jayapal, who leads the Progressive
Who's this
Caucus
fucking giant?
in the House.
Who's the 7-foot tall
greeting members of the,
ogre
of
of
the
Kiev
Senate.
over here?
We saw Democrats cheering more than we did Republicans, but there were times when we saw people across both sides of the House chamber cheering. We have correspondents joining us.
Yeah, she's
as
from
we
the
watch
7th
President,
District
Biden
of
leave.
Washington.
We also have our analyst, Jonathan
I wonder what that
Capehart with the
includes. I think
Washington
that might be
Post,
Tacoma.
Peter Wehner, who writes for the Atlantic
Priya
magazine.
Japal.
Jonathan Capehart, I want to come to you. I was struck that the president
All right, time to
used
go get him,
Ukraine in the
Putin.
beginning
Yeah!
to bring the country together, and then
Cheers.
as he
Oh,
wrapped
you know
up
what?
the speech,
She's
again
like-
appealed for unity,
She's not
appealed
my
to Americans
congressperson,
to
but
work
she's yours.
across
She
our
my
political
congressperson?
divide.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yep,
the
I'm
word
looking at a map.
that connects those two,
That's
the beginning
my
and the end,
congressperson.
is
Yeah, yeah.
democracy. The
Because
focus on
she's
Ukraine
like
was
most
the
of
focus
Seattle's
on,
congressperson, but not on the east
people
side.
who had
We have someone else
a
here.
democratically elected
I don't even know who it
government
is,
that is now
honestly.
under siege by a country run by a dictator. The fact that the president spent the first 12 minutes, and I was keeping tabs, the first 12 minutes of his speech talking about Ukraine, lauding the spirit and the courage of the Ukrainian people, while at the
Yeah,
same
the rebuttal
time
will come up after
earning
he's out of the room, I
bipartisan
think. He's
standing
got to
ovations from Democrats and Republicans
with everyone.
for the words he was saying,
He's
the
hugging
support
and kissing
the support he
and
was giving to the
being
Ukrainian
inappropriate.
people. And then at the end of the
come on.
speech,
He's got to sniff some hair.
Biden
throughout the
levels of
campaign,
inappropriate.
Judy, the one time I always saw Joe Biden, candidate Joe Biden, and President Joe Biden get animated, passionate, fiery, is when he is talking about the American people and American democracy and what we can do and what we can achieve when
My
we are
congressman's
united
name
as a
is
people.
Adam
And so when you
Smith.
look at
It's such a,
these two
like,
bookends of the
boring
speech,
name.
what
It's like,
what we heard
you know how many Adam
is a
Smiths there
president
probably
who
are?
is committed in his
Too many.
bones
Yeah.
to
It's the most
democracy
common last
at
name
home and
in the
abroad.
U.S. and probably Canada.
I wonder what the most common name is. John Smith, you think?
I mean, yes. John is the most, at least it used to be. I'd have to look up current trends,
what
but
the most common.
at one time, John was by far the most common
This is
man's
someone who
name.
spent 36 years in the United States Senate. He paid tribute to Justice Stephen Breyer, who you can see standing there to speak
By
with
the way,
him,
I'm going to end the poll, and
before
yes
he
wins
leaves the chamber.
55%
This is someone
yes,
who is
45% no.
with
the question
with
was,
this
would you
body,
watch
with
the
Senate, with the House,
Biden
having
Pelosi
served in the
sex
Senate.
video?
But these,
I'm going to close the voting now. Oh, it
it
moved a little bit. Closing the voting though. Here we go.
And Justice Breyer.
Shout out
who
to you
himself,
sluts
worked in the United
trying to
States
watch
Senate.
that.
He was
I guess the next question is, are you just
advisor to,
watching
the
it, or are
late
you
Senator,
doing something else while you're watching it?
Depends
But I
on.
want to bring in
Depends
Peter
on
Wilson
how-
and ask you about what
Like if
the
it's
Like where it
Pelosi,
goes?
yeah, if it's Pelosi, just like
about
getting
a
railed by
unity- he called a
Biden?
unity agenda. He said, I think we can work together.
if it's like
on
Pelosi
cancer.
riding
We can work
Biden's
together,
face.
he
Oh
said,
my
on
God.
veterans,
I don't think I
on
can get
mental
off to
health,
that.
on defeating the
But if
opioid
it's like,
epidemic. Is that
if you can
realistic?
hear their bones cracking while Biden's like taking her from behind and pulling her hair and slapping a little bit of that makeup off her face, and she's like drooling and crying, and like she's obviously into it, like her eyes are rolling back. I might have to, reach for a cold one.
Still stir the human heart, and we've seen that in Ukraine, but we've seen it.
It
in this
appears
country
James is the most
too,
common
and I think
male
you read
name.
That moment correctly.
Oh, now
It says James Smith is the most common full name in the country,
after that,
with more than
it
38,000
really
people
lost
bearing the
altitude, and I
moniker.
think
That's a lot of people
to
to
me, it
all
was
have the
the follow with Joe
same
Biden, one of
name.
And here's the most common female name.
What's that?
This was just a
Maria
litany of
Garcia.
things, and,
That
you know,
makes
Jonathan
sense.
may be right.
I mean,
Dickens'
Garcia
speech
is
that
the
he was doing, I'm
Smith
not sure
of
how many
Hispanic
people
names,
around
and Maria
were focused
is Mary.
at,
It's
Yeah.
it's very
And the other
common
thing I'd
in
say is
like
our
Latin
Democratic be somewhat
America.
concerned,
Shout out
because
to
this was- we
James
discussed
Smith and Maria
maybe could
Garcia.
have been a course correction.
Yeah, that
for
makes a lot of
his presidency,
sense.
because this is a woman
Juan is
presidency.
is the John
And I don't think that
equivalent
was
in,
it. This was
in
not a kind of
Spanish.
Isn't Jaime
the
the
era of
James
big
equivalent?
government
I
has ended. This was
believe
more
so.
Joe Biden saying,
I'd rather be a
we
one
do
than a
lot, and I should
Jaime.
get better
And,
credit
Jorge,
than
I
have.
believe,
So
is
the good things that were in the
George.
speech,
Yeah.
bipartisan
I know
parts, even the
Guillermo
moving parts,
is William,
with Bo Biden,
but Billy,
Which doesn't
Billy
sound the
is,
same at all.
is Memo.
litany of things that really had no
Memo
prioritization.
is what they call like Bill or
Please,
Billy.
Desjardins,
Memo,
you were
Bill.
there. You're there in the chamber, able to watch.
Jose,
not
I
only the
believe, is
president, but the
Joseph,
reaction.
right?
What did
Yeah.
you see?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I have to say, Democrats did a good job of trying to push back the notion
Now I
of
have
an
to search for
enthusiasm
James
gap.
Smith
Their cheering
porn.
was
Why?
Maria-
it was almost
James
deafening at
Smith,
times, and it felt
Maria
authentic.
Garcia
However, you
porn.
could see, I don't know if it was
See
the
if
12
we
minutes
have-
in that Jonathan just mentioned or somewhere around there, Republicans stopped
not
clapping
getting
even for
anything.
notions that I know they support. Things like buying American products. At some point, they weren't even clapping for those ideas, which were shows of a
Lupe.
president trying to evoke bipartisan compromise. That changed again at the end once you heard about veterans.
When I was
you
a
heard
kid,
about several
my
other ideas.
dad
Then
would take me
Republicans
to a
again
barber
got on their
named
feet.
Lupe.
There were a few moments of clear tension. In the center
And
of
he
the
would give me
room
buzz cuts.
were two of the most controversial Republican members.
Lupe
I think
on the
viewers
buzz
saw
cut.
them.
Yep.
Representative Lauren
Lupe on
Boebert
the
of
buzz
California,
cut.
Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. At one point, when the
Yeah, I'm
president
not finding
was
any
talking
good
about America's,
James
born
Smith
Yeah,
on
it's-
Maria
that's
Garcia.
a little too
and
specific,
talked about,
you know?
cancer that could put them in a flag-draped coffin. Representative Boebert shouted out, and she said, "You put them there."
Man, he's a hit with the
13
ladies.
of
You see
them,
this?
even
You
as
know,
the
always
president
gonna.
was about to
Oh, what's his
sue his
headbutt?
own son,
He's
who,
just
of
giving her a little
course,
headbutt?
served as
Yeah,
president.
What are you doing,
yeah.
Biden?
And also died of
He's gonna
cancer.
sniff some hair.
And-
He already
and that
has,
was a moment
probably.
You could see other Republicans looking at her and sort of casting her a look of saying,
There's the
"You
hair
went too
sniff right
far."
there.
I don't know that she
Making
felt
his
that way.
rounds, just sniffing what he
It
can.
was one of the few moments
Yep.
of real rancor
Roku
that we
took
had in
all
his speech,
adult
which is
video
significant
apps
because
off of
last year, I
their
have to say, entering
their
this
platform
chamber
this last
not that
month.
long after
This
January
last
6th,
week.
And remember, a year
So
ago,
no
this
more
speech that the year
Pornhub
ago,
on Roku
we had
at
just
all,
finished
whether
up
or not
an
I'm getting in
impeachment
trouble
trial.
for searching.
So that was
Who's
a
this
moment
gentleman?
where
He's
there were
tall.
bitter,
I don't know who
bitter
he is,
feelings
though.
in this
Yeah.
chamber. I didn't sense that tonight.
He's getting the president's autograph.
This guy's having a good spine day.
There were Republicans meeting.
Now, where's that
meeting to try
little
and speak to the
cute
president,
little
but I
mayor
think
of
he spent so
Hawaii
much time on the
boy?
Democratic side. I'm
Yeah,
not
he's,
sure
got,
any of
he's
them
headed
made it
for
over
that.
there.
You better leave the mayor of Hawaii alone, Joe Biden.
Lisa Desjardins in the House chamber and able to have a view of what is going on that
Danny
we don't
Trejo is
have.
not
We are
tall.
depending on the
Yeah,
television camera
yeah, and I don't know who
all
this
the
guy
feed
is, but
that we
he's
get, and
he's
we
like
are
a big.
dependent on
He looks
those
big.
as our eyes into the chamber. And Lisa, thank you for clarifying.
Oh,
it was hard
is that Puerto Rico?
me, at
I
least,
think
to
on the
hear
tie?
what
That
was
looks like
said.
Texas
I
to
could
me.
hear at
Okay,
one
never
point
mind.
Before the president spoke about cancer, about his son's death.
But it might have been.
That
I'd have to-
someone
it's hard to
shouted
say.
something in the chamber, but I couldn't hear what it was. So thank you.
Why
for,
Biden
for
skip right by
clarifying-
Buttigieg?
for clarifying that. As we watch the president
Don't wanna
leave, I
sniff
wanna bring in our,
Buttigieg?
Jeff Bennett,
Give
who's at the
Buttigieg a
White
little
House
sniff, Biden.
tonight, and who knows
You can't be
some of
picky
what
and choosy with your
went into this
sniffs.
speech. Jeff,
Texas, a Texas tie?
Yeah, I thought it was.
This
Yeah.
really was not a redirection for the president, that he seemed to go back and repeat many of the priorities that we heard about in year one. Was there a debate at the White House about how much of that to put in the speech?
There was, and I can tell you, Judy, that based on my reporting, given the
Jesus,
moment
Biden.
in which we are,
You don't have to talk
world
to
events,
everybody.
The
He's got to
pandemic,
sniff everybody, though.
inflation,
He's like a
Get the
dog.
fuck out of there, man. He stands uncomfortably close. What is he doing here? Like,
He's
what-
seeing if he touch his boner through the trousers.
The president had
He's
delivered
like,
this
he's just got it whipped out. He's
such
pissing on her
a
feet.
moment. I mean, not since 2000.
He's like, you better move. I'm going to start peeing. And she's like, damn it, Biden. You can't be pissing on my feet again.
Oh, posing for a photo.
To 2010, when President Barack Obama was delivering his State of the Union address at a time of a global recession.
President Bronco Bomber.
Never since then has a president found himself in the kind of moment in which President Biden finds himself tonight. And
He's
so
like,
the
bye.
thinking was that it was important, at least in framing his domestic agenda, was to sort of reframe.
Was she
this
reaching for
idea,
Biden's hand, or
not
is she
focus
trying
so
to
much
clear a
on the
path for him?
crisis, but find ways to turn the crisis into an opportunity. In fact,
He's got the
President used
Secret
that very
Service
phrase.
people kind of following
And
him
so
around.
what I thought was
and
really
they kinda,
interesting was that
they're
he
like,
went
oh, you
back
gotta
and
go,
he
sir.
talked about the American
Move on.
Rescue Plan. And the
They're there to
reason why
keep
he
him
did that,
from
he
getting
talked
too
about the child
touchy-feely
tax credit,
close.
the stimulus
Yeah.
check.
Part of protecting
That's probably
Biden.
their second job. Yeah.
Something in there that allowed
Like
schools
they'll
to
take a
open
bullet for him, but they're
One
not
of the
going to let
reasons
him
why
be
he
a
did that was
perv.
because
I wonder
there were
how
so
many
many
Secret
centrist
Servicemen have had to
Democrats
like
voting for
wait
that bill.
outside of the door
He felt
while the
like the White
president
House
got
didn't
dirty.
focus enough on that at the time.
There's got to be
That
like
the American
stories,
people,
right?
by and large,
Yeah,
and this is
especially
showing
like
up in
the
opinion
Kennedy
polls,
Secret Service people.
didn't have a
Or
good sense
Bill
of what was
Clinton. We
included
know
in
he
that.
was doing
Didn't
some
know
stuff.
what the president
Yeah,
and what
when he was
Democrats did.
governor, he was like
And so,
notorious.
I should
as a
write a
result
book
of that, they
claiming to
weren't
be a
giving the
Secret
president
Service member from the
credit for
Clinton
it.
administration
Fast forward to
and just
the
release
Build
it,
Back
talking
Better
about
Act.
how there
Like
was
Q, almost like a Q thing.
yeah, like there was a
where-
smell of ham coming out of the room.
He talked about making child care more affordable, making elder care more affordable. All of those things
Is
are
that one
included
of
in his
those,
Build Back Better
McChicken
legislation, but the president
sandwiches?
never once
Yeah.
used that name. The White House believes
How Bill Clinton
they
used
say,
to
Phil
pleasure women
Hartman's-
with a falafel.
policies
Phil
are more
Hartman's Bill
important
Clinton
than
was
what
so
that
good.
legislation is called
Yeah, it was-
or how
it was a
it's
good Bill
packaged.
Clinton.
He could
We'll
do
have
the
to
voice
see
perfectly.
Whether or not Senator Joe Manchin will be more
Daryl
inclined to
Hammond
vote
did the
for a one-off bill.
Daryl Hammond's
end
good
period,
at
right?
voices.
You know,
Yeah,
an overall
I like
package,
Phil
because
Hartman's
he, of
better
course,
than
has been
Daryl
the-
Hammond.
the major
Daryl
obstacle
Hammond
in
is
getting
just
that
filler
package
guy.
across the
Daryl
finish
Hammond
line.
is a
And then beyond
impressionist.
that,
You
the
know, like
president
he
also,
could
I
do
thought,
impersonations
tried to
really
capture
well.
some
Impersonator.
rhetorical ground from Republicans. He talked about the importance of securing the
But like
border,
Phil
the
Hartman
importance
was
of
like an
funding,
actual like actor,
the police.
like
And as Lisa
improv
mentioned,
actor. He started with
spent a good
improv,
portion of the speech talking about,
which is a lot of them do.
Why am I
making more
sticky
products
says,
here in
is
America as a
it
way
not
of-
supposed to
of
smell like
raising
ham?
wages
Ham is
and
definitely
countering
not the worst thing it could
inflation.
smell like.
Yeah, there was an internal debate about how to frame
There's
the
much
domestic
worse than
agenda. It
ham
might have
out
sounded
there.
like a laundry
Hey,
list,
one
but
thing
it's
I want to
in large
draw
part
some
because
attention
the
to
White
down
House
below
believes
is
they have so much
we
work
have a
to do
clip.
in educating
There's a
the American
clip
people about what their
section
plans
where you can
are
like make
and how they
clips
would be
now
beneficial
through
to
YouTube
everyday
directly
Really,
for
really
videos and
interesting
like share them.
So interesting.
I haven't tried it yet,
Lisa
but I got an
said,
email
even
about it
when the
recently,
president was
and
talking about
I
the
guess it was
that.
launched
One
like
might think
site wide.
Republicans might
So if
be
anyone,
interested in,
if anyone sees, I think it's going to be
conversations with the
similar to
White
how
House about
Twitch, you can
whether
make
it
like
was
Twitch clips.
More jobs, more manufacturing
So
jobs
yeah,
in
feel free to go
America.
back through the entire catalog on this channel and clip things out now.
Just don't clip anything that I may have said.
Him saying the
out of
N-word.
context.
Billy saying the N-word.
Don't clip anything I may have said out of context, please.
Their support.
Everybody knows anything I said that was questionable was obviously a joke.
don't defund
Never
the
meant to be
police,
taken
fund the
seriously.
police, and he said it
Now that you have
3
the ability to
times in a
clip,
row.
I
We're still
worry that
watching,
some of you will get me in
President
a
Biden
little bit of a
talking
public
with members of
backlash.
Congress as he leaves the
Yeah,
chamber.
there's a
They
lot
seem to be
documented in the
Democrats,
DP
to my eye, who were still there
Discord,
trying
actually.
to have a word
Huh,
with him.
Egghead just
Amna Nawaz
now
is,
saw
is
the
there in the Capitol
Photoshop of
complex.
him.
He's in the Cannon House office building. Amna, you were saying earlier that
damn
you've
you.
been talking to Ukrainians
Poor
who are
Egghead.
going to be staying up late tonight to
That's what he
listen to what
gets.
the president has
This
to
is
say
kind of boring.
about
It is.
Ukraine.
We're waiting for the person
What
to
do you think
rebuttal.
they heard?
Right now, we're
Yeah,
having
we're-
a bit of a down period.
Yeah, we're just
A little
talking.
downswing.
Who cares? Like,
Or
we're not even.
downswing.
I'm not even paying attention to
Well, I'll
this
tell
at
you,
this
Judy, right
point.
off the bat, the thing that most
But
heartened
that being
them,
said,
that,
I am
really
looking to make
impressed
sure
them,
Biden
surprised
doesn't
them,
kidnap the
was
mayor
that
of
the
Hawaii.
president opened what is largely a domestic
That could
messaging
be
opportunity
very
with
troublesome.
Ukraine, speaking directly to the Ukrainian people, hailing them for working so hard to fight and defend their democracy and their freedom. I got a number of messages.
The
of
head
people
cheese,
noticing
Joe
so many
Biden, just
lawmakers
addressed the
were wearing
nation
yellow
and
and
told
blue
us
and waving the Ukrainian flag.
you can't build a wall
Lines
to
that
stop
stood
the
out here from people
vaccines.
they sent to me here. Putin can send tanks into Ukraine,
Matter
but
of
can never
fact,
conquer the hearts of Ukrainians. These are the kind of things that they said
He paused.
really resonated with them. And
He
that
paused
for
in
the many
reflection,
who probably did not stay up till 4
calling
a.m.
for the
there
end of the
to
Rust
watch
Belt.
this speech. They say that will probably be very
A
emotional.
long
for many
pause, a
Ukrainians
long
when they wake up in a
silence
few
for the
hours
Rust Belt.
and begin to hear this. But I'll also mention, one of the challenges we saw for the president going into this speech was with all this confluence of issues and major crises, foreign and domestic, how he was going to thread the needle and message in one coherent speech. And I actually
This
found a
guy
number
that
of
was tall
opportunities
behind
where
Biden's got to be
the
3 or
president
4
was
steps
best to
down
do
now
that.
because
He
he
was
look
really
yeah
linking
he does not
some of
look
the
tall
challenges
now.
abroad with the challenges here and showing how America's place in this world
Are we
is
almost
changing,
done
how the
taking
two depend
selfies?
on each other. And you talked about defending Ukrainians.
Are we almost
as
done with the
defending
selfies,
freedom. And
guys?
even though
It
the impact
sucks.
would be felt here at home, why it's
I'm allergic to
necessary
this shit.
for the larger case and strength of democracy in the world. Returning to this familiar theme we've heard
I'm
talk
doing
about
the
before,
best
right?
that I
About
can.
the time of rising
I'm doing the
autocracies.
best
You mentioned
I
the
ever
battle between
did.
democracies and autocracies. Democracies are rising to the moment. That's a theme we've heard from him before, going back to the January 6th anniversary.
Holy shit.
And to
How
his
far away
inauguration.
was
But he also talked about
Bo's
domestic
hooch
investments
from the
here in
fires?
US and
What is a
infrastructure
hooch?
and how
I don't
those
know.
will
Was there
allow
someone from the
America
military
and
watching right
companies
now that knows what a
and the
hooch
American
is?
economy
Yeah.
to compete
Because he
on
made
the
it sound like it was
global
something
stage.
military related.
I hope
So
it's
there was quite a
military
bit of
related.
linking going
Yeah,
on there
that
between
tall
some of these
guy
issues and some people are
in the
actually
suit
quite
following,
difficult
yeah,
to
they're all
connect
Secret
in one
Service.
speech.
All
The
these
last
like
thing I'll mention
bigger
is
guys
the
in
time
suits.
spent. Obviously, that is sort of a messaging in and of itself, and how many minutes the president speaks on
How
each of these
many
issues.
of
He did
us
open
have
with
them?
Ukraine and foreign
Friends,
policy, spent about 10
ones
minutes on
we
that,
can
and then as we saw,
depend
moved into
on.
the pandemic and largely the economy and inflation.
Hooch is like
and
your tent?
infrastructure and
Okay.
domestic investments, and that was
Huh.
the bulk of his speech. And that
His
is,
hooch.
of course, in response to the fact that that is chief.
It's
of
a
most
shack you
Americans'
sleep
minds.
in.
That is a top
Thank you,
concern
Jackpot.
for his primary audience.
Thank you, Hawkeye
which is
Poots.
the American public. The last thing I'll mention,
A
though, Judy,
sleep
is
shack.
that
Shandy
one
hut.
message I got from one Ukrainian who was watching as the speech unfolded was not surprised. The president went on to spend as much time on COVID and the pandemic and the economy.
Egghead wants to know
and
who's
she
giving the
said this,
GOP
which was,
response.
it's
It's
strange to
Marjorie
think that up
Taylor
until
Greene.
February
Is it?
24th,
Oh
even the
my
top
God,
things
that would
were
make my day.
in Ukraine were
That
the
would
pandemic
make my
and the
day.
economy and how much the world
Nick
has completely
Fuentes is
changed
going to give the
in just
GOP
the space
response.
of 1 week.
Cat
Judy?
boys.
No question.
In the
that is, again, a
house.
reminder, Amna, of
A
how
shanty
much,
for Christ hut
State
is a
of the Union
hooch.
address,
Nasty, man.
is tied
You love
to
the thumbnail
moment.
for this?
Why,
Good old
thank
ice
you.
cream.
In fact,
Why,
normally
thank you.
State of
Ice
the
cream
Union
you
I made
scratch
it, so I will take
earlier
credit for
in
that.
the year. This was moved later for a number of reasons. COVID.
He loves the
having
chocolate
something to do
chip.
with it. If it had come several weeks ago, it would have been before the Russian invasion.
He loves that chocolate chip
of
ice
Ukraine.
cream.
That wouldn't have been the theme. We presume that it became tonight. There
So
would
are
have
they
been
gonna
different
play the
words about
response?
COVID.
I would hope.
Today,
Are they clearing out the
United
room
States
there?
observed 950
It's not in the room though. It's usually like in
Oh.
another room
Americans
somewhere.
They'll have a
have died.
separate in the
Yeah.
hooch. They'll have it in
more
the
than
hooch.
Any other nation on
The
the
Rock should
planet.
give the response. The
Uh,
Rock's kind of
and,
been more
and that wouldn't have been
liberal
surely
leaning
the president
as of
had
late.
spoken
He was
about
not a
COVID,
Trump fan.
but tonight
After
he
Trump
was
took
able
over
to
the
talk about
Republican
it, but he
Party,
was able to say, we've lost lost so
you know,
many
The Rock
in our midst,
is,
but we are
has
moving
left
beyond
that
it,
shit.
and we need to continue to be vigilant, and he talked about vaccination.
The Rock was at the Republican National Convention in 2000, right?
The rest of the world, but this was a speech.
Yeah, early on he spoke at the RNC. He was GOP aligned.
I want to come back to you, Jonathan Capehart, and I also want to tell our audience that in just a few moments we will be bringing you the Republican
He definitely embraced Biden, right?
By the governor of Iowa, Kim Reynolds, and we'll take that. Just
Kim Reynolds, the governor of Iowa.
As it gets underway, but in the meantime,
I don't know who that is.
Come back to you because
Kim Reynolds about to open a can of whoop ass.
Democracy together.
Take Biden out to the hoop shack.
And the end of the speech, and of course we're all
Stone Cold.
wanting
to
jump
Stone
ahead.
Cold.
What are people going to?
All right, we're gonna wait until this shit
speech?
happens here. I'm gonna mute this for now. Do we get any Streamlabs to read through? Or
I think all of them have been big ones, but
all right.
Let me pull up in the little tootie. I think most of them have been read off.
Popping up
Might
the
have had
little tootie.
a couple though.
Popping up the little toot.
Are we voting for The Rock? We should. I'd vote for The Rock.
I don't think he's gonna run.
If he,
you know what he did though? He did something so smart. You know how he owns XFL?
Yeah.
He signed a contract with the NFL to kind of be like a farm system for the NFL.
That's interesting.
That was smart to instead of trying to be their competition, to partner with them and be like the minor league pro football.
Did he announce that at the Super Bowl, or was that before the Super Bowl?
I think it was after the Super Bowl happened. It was announced that happened.
Yeah,
And that's probably why he was there, right?
Yeah, he introduced the Super Bowl.
That was the mistake of the original XFL, is Vince McMahon talked trash about the NFL and tried to compete with them instead of
Yeah, well, I mean, it was smart at first, but the problem was he didn't deliver a product that could come back. Everybody,
I would say a lot of it was smart, but the trash talking the NFL, most people identify as a mistake because you're alienating such a huge amount of people that have people are religious practically about their team that they grew up with. So they might be open to a new team, but when you insult the team, if they're a football fan, they probably have an NFL team that they like, So when you insult that kind of football when it's clearly better, it looks stupid, and no one liked that.
Mr. Morden said Kim Reynolds used the pandemic to declare abortions unnecessary medical procedures. It's pretty fucked up. John Barlick, I love the thumbnail for this. Coop Carr, give that big love. Drunken Mechanic Raymond gave that big love. Daniel Air gave that big love. Screaming Phoenix is why is Kamala cosplaying as a poop? Good question. Eduardo Garcia's gave that big love. Rat Lord Alcabraz gave that big love, and that gets us all up on the up. Thank you guys so far for the support tonight. If we can get up to $333, we'll be 1/3 of the way and going into Saturday.
$333.
It's a simple number. It's a simple number. It's a simple number. You only watch football if they hurt each other? Wow. You should watch hockey then.
Yeah. Yeah, they punch each other. So what? Oh, is this her? Here she is.
I'm Kim Reynolds, governor of the great state of Iowa. Like you, I just watched the president's address. I listened as the governor of our state, as a mom and a grandmother of 11, who's worried our country is on the wrong track. We're now 1 year into his presidency, and instead of moving America forward, it feels like President Biden and his party have sent us back in time to the late 70s and early 80s, when runaway inflation was hammering families, a violent crime wave was crashing our cities, and the Soviet Army was trying to redraw the world map. Even before taking the oath of office, the president told us that he wanted to, quote, make America respected around the world again, and to unite us here at home. He's failed on both fronts. The disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal did more than cost American lives. It betrayed our allies and emboldened our enemies. North Korea is testing missiles again at an alarming rate.
Vaguely.
The Speaker of the House recently warned our Olympic athletes not to speak out against China. And now Russia has launched an unprovoked, full-scale military invasion of Ukraine. An attack on democracy, freedom, and the rule of law. Now all Americans
AK
must
tagged
stand
Lauren
united
in this to tell her
in
that Kim was
solidarity
on.
with the brave people of Ukraine as they courageously defend their country against Putin's tyranny as they fight for their freedom. But we shouldn't ignore what happened in the run-up to Putin's invasion, waiving sanctions on Russian pipelines while eliminating oil production here at home, focusing on political correctness rather than military readiness, reacting to world events instead of driving them. Weakness on the world stage has a cost, and the president's approach to foreign policy has consistently been too little, too late. It's time for America to once again project confidence. It's time to be decisive. It's time to lead. But we can't project strength abroad if we're weak at home.
This is all just
And that's what I want to discuss with
bullshit.
you tonight.
All right, let's see.
The president and Democrats in Congress have spent the last year either ignoring the issues facing Americans or making them worse. They were warned that spending trillions would lead to soaring inflation. They were told that their anti-energy policies would send gas prices to new heights, but they plowed ahead anyway, raising the price at the pump by 50% and pushing inflation to a 40-year high. 4 decades ago, when our nation was last reeling from inflation, I was a young working mom
Is she
just
gonna talk
starting
about Ronald
out.
Reagan?
My husband Kevin worked days while I watched our girls, and then we would literally switch. We would pass in the yard as he was coming home, and I was leaving to work evenings at the local grocery store. From across that checkout counter, I saw the pain of inflation on my neighbors' faces. I saw what happens when prices rise faster than wages. The Biden administration believes inflation is a, quote, high-class problem. I can tell you, it's an everybody problem. I saw moms and dads' paychecks buy them less and less. I watched working people choose which essentials to take home and which ones
Yeah,
to
are you
leave
gonna
behind.
decipher the message there?
And now President Biden's decisions
Comrade Pig.
have a whole new generation
Comrade
feeling
Pig.
that same pain.
That should be a shirt.
When I took the oath of office 5 years ago, I promised Iowans that I would never lose sight of who I was working for.
We'll get you like one of those
that
big
I wouldn't
furry
become
Soviet
detached
hats
from the
to
problems they were facing, from the
Comrade
problems that I
Pig.
had faced myself. But you don't have to check groceries to see what high inflation does to people. You just need to step outside of the DC bubble. Talk to Americans about what's on their mind. Ask them, what are your concerns? What keeps you up at night? And they'll tell you. And I can tell you what's not on that list. They won't tell you that spending trillions more and bankrupting their children is the answer to their problems. They won't tell you that we should be paying people not to work. And they certainly won't tell you that we should give billions in tax giveaways to millionaires and billionaires in Democrat-controlled states like California, New York, and New Jersey. But that's what the Biden administration has been pushing for over the last year. And that's all part of Build Back Better. Thankfully, the president's agenda didn't pass because even members of his own party said enough is enough. Well, the American people share that view. Enough is enough. And it's not just with DC spending. Americans are tired of a political class trying to remake this country into a place where an elite few tell everyone else what they can and cannot say, what they can and cannot believe. They're tired of people pretending the way to end racism is by categorizing everybody by their race. They're tired of
she's going
politicians
there,
who tell
huh?
parents they should sit down, be silent, and let government control their kids' education and future. Frankly, they are tired of the theater, where politicians do one thing when the cameras are rolling and another when they believe you can't see them. Where governors and mayors enforce mandates but don't follow them. Where elected leaders tell their citizens to stay home
That
while
must
they
be the
sneak
state
off to Florida for
house,
sun
like the
and
capital
fun.
of
Where they demand that
Iowa,
your child
right?
wear a
Is she in
mask,
Iowa?
but they go maskless. So you've heard the excuses.
We're about to
they
lift
were
the
just
mask
holding
ban
their breath. But it's the American
couple
people who are
weeks here.
waiting to exhale.
Yeah,
For the most
waiting
part.
the
for the
vaccine
insanity to
passport
stop.
mandate ended
We
today.
now live in a country where violent crime is out of control.
And the mask thing should
Liberal
end in like 2
prosecutors
weeks.
are letting
Spring,
criminals off
actually,
easy.
daylight savings
and many
starts
prominent
in 2
Democrats
weeks.
still
We'll
want
be on
to defund
daylight
the police.
time.
Bounce back.
You know, it seems like everything is backwards. The Biden
Spring
administration
forward.
requires vaccines for Americans who want to go to work or protect this country, but not for migrants who illegally cross the border. The Department of Justice treats parents like domestic terrorists, but looters and shoplifters roam free. The American people are left to feel like they're the enemy. This is not the same country it was a year ago. The president tried to paint a different picture tonight, but his actions over the last 12 months don't match the rhetoric. It's not what he promised when he took office. But it doesn't have to be that way. There is an alternative.
What's the alternative?
Across the nation, Republican governors and legislators are showing Americans what conservative leadership looks like, what it means to respect the people we serve, to hear them out, to stand up for them and walk alongside them. We know that our problems require bold action, but we also know that bold action doesn't have to mean government action. It's Americans making their own decisions for their own families and future. Republican governors face the same COVID-19 virus head-on. But we honored your freedoms and saw right away that lockdowns and school closures, they came with their own significant cost.
They came with a cost, but they had
mandates
to
weren't the
be
answer.
done.
And we actually
Yeah, there was a
listened
cost.
to the science.
Sometimes there's a cost.
especially
You just
with
have to
kids in
deal with
masks
it.
And kids in schools. What happened and is still happening to our children over the last 2 years is unconscionable. Learning loss, isolation, anxiety, depression. In so many states, our kids have been left behind, and so many will never catch up. That's why Iowa was the first state in the nation to require that schools open their doors. I was attacked by the left, I was attacked by the media, but it wasn't a hard choice. It was the right choice. And keeping schools open is only the start of the pro-parent, pro-family revolution that
pro-parent.
Republicans are leading in Iowa and states across this country. Republicans believe that parents matter. It was
Hardly
true
anyone lives
before
in
the
Iowa.
pandemic,
Like,
and
I know
has
people
never
live
been
there,
more
but comparable
important
to a lot of
say
other
out
states.
loud.
It's very empty.
Parents
But that's where
matter.
the caucus starts
They
in the
have a
presidential
right to
election.
It's
know
true, and there's no
and to have
reason
a
why that
say
should matter
in
as
what
much as
their
it does.
kids
But
are being taught.
it's tradition.
Families
so
also
it
have
matters.
every right
because
to live in a
Iowa
safe
corn
and a
is such a
secure
big
community.
industry that they
And
literally
that begins with a safe
make Iowa
and
huge
secure
for the
country.
corn industry.
But the Biden
It's
administration
letting
has
them know that
refused to secure
they're
our
gonna
borders.
continue.
Winning Iowa in
They've
the election
refused to
will
provide the
almost
resources to
never
stop
sway an
human
election.
trafficking.
It's just
So it
showing
doesn't
that-
really
Stop
matter
the
who.
It's showing that they're
staggering
gonna
influx of deadly
continue
drugs
the
coming into our
corn
neighborhoods.
industry in the United
They've
States
refused
by banning
to
trans kids
protect
in schools
you.
and forcibly outing
It's
LGBT
so-
youth.
With
Yeah.
Texas
It's covered
and
by the
Arizona
media so
leading
much.
the way,
Bold
I,
action.
along with Republican
The
governors
corn.
from
The
several
Iowa
states,
caucus is
have sent
covered
resources to
so
the
much
border.
by media that
And we've
the winner
actually
affects
gone to
the
border,
polling in other
something that our
states.
president
But
and vice
whoever wins
president have
Iowa,
yet
it
to
doesn't
do
matter.
Since taking office.
Like at all. You can't like sway
On
an
the
election
economy,
with the way
the
elections
contrast
work
couldn't
now
be
with
more
Iowa.
stark.
It has hardly
While
any electoral
Democrats
votes.
in DC
But
are
it's
spending
literally
trillions,
just the corn
sending
industry
inflation
letting
soaring,
the-
Republican
Okay.
Big
leaders
corn,
around
dude.
the
Okay,
country
I'm Billy the
balancing
Fridge, and this is
budgets and
conspiracy
It's big corn. It's not
because
conspiracy.
we know
It
that
is.
money
Corn
spent on Main Street is better
runs
than
America.
money
There's a
spent
reason
on
we take
bureaucracy.
good quality
Today,
sugar
I
out of
signed
foods and
legislation
replace it
but
with high
that
that's
fructose
not
corn
why they
syrup.
fucking
Iowa's
give a shit
tax
about
on
the Iowa
retirement
caucus.
income
The Iowa caucus
and
is
sets
older
our
than big
tax rate at
corn.
It's been around
3.9%. That's less than half of what it was just 4 years ago. And it shouldn't come as a surprise that out of the top 20 states with the lowest unemployment rates, 17 have Republican governors. Republicans may not have the White House, but we're doing what we can to fill the leadership vacuum. And on the issues that are affecting Americans, Republicans are leading. We're standing up for parents and kids. We're standing up for life.
I feel like
We're
Marjorie
keeping our
Taylor Greene could have
communities
delivered this
safe
same
and thanking
speech.
those in uniform.
So it's nice to see the Republican
We're
Party
fighting
is
to restore
unified in
America's
that.
energy independence.
I thought Marjorie
and
Taylor Greene was a
that
little out there,
includes biofuels.
but it seems like she's
We're
towing the
getting
party
people
line.
back to work, not paying them to stay home. Most of all, we're respecting your freedom. Behind me stands Iowa's Capitol, where we display our state motto, our liberties we prize and our rights we will maintain. And those aren't just empty words. It's a
Are you sure
belief
that's like
that the
literally everything
greatness
you've
of
said?
The state and this country lies in our people, not government. You shouldn't have to wake up every morning and worry about the next thing the government is going to do to you, your business, or your children. If we as elected leaders are doing our job, then the government is working well, but operating in the background. It's supporting the ingenuity
can't believe
and
how long
spirit
this
of our
is.
people,
I
not
mean,
drowning them out.
I don't remember
It's
these being
keeping
this
them
long.
safe,
Usually
not
it's
restricting their freedom. That's what I
yakety
believe.
yak, yakety
That's what
yak.
The
Republicans
reason we
believe,
need government to
and that's what
intervene is because
Republicans are
corporations
doing.
are acting as
I am so blessed
super
to be the governor
entities
of
that
Iowa,
control
where people
the
are
government.
humble, hardworking, and patriotic. We take care of each other, and yes,
I'm not going to stop
we
watching
are,
it. I'm a
as they say,
completionist, okay?
Iowa nice. But you don't have to be from Iowa to see
But the
that
government's
those are the values
maybe,
of America
the way
at
Biden's
its
talking,
best.
maybe going to allow
All of
unionization,
America.
push unionization,
Over the last few
push
years, I've put
jobs
my
to Americans
faith
through
in
a
Iowans,
social
and
program,
they haven't let me down.
like rebuilding the infrastructure,
I encourage this president to do the same.
a social work
to
program.
put his faith in you, the
I don't know.
American people, who have never wavered in your belief in this country, regardless of who leads it. Because you know, you've shown that
She
the
is
soul
pandering.
of America isn't about who lives in the White House. It's men and women like you in every corner of this nation who are willing to step up and take responsibility
Iowa is
for
the
your communities,
31st
for your
state in
neighbors,
population.
and ultimately for yourselves. By that most important measure at least, the state of our union is indeed strong. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Oh my God.
We've been listening to Kim Reynolds. She's the governor, Republican governor
She's
of
a
the state of
reptilian.
Iowa, elected in 2018. She tonight delivered the Republican.
All right. All right. Those damn Republicans. Those damn Republicans. I don't know. I didn't really get a point to everything she said. It was all just like bumper sticker, buzzword, you know, the left, you know, that kind of shit.
Yeah. Great rebuttal. Biden did not do anything good. We're going to continue to give you the power to the people.
Inflation, inflation, inflation. All right, here we go.
I should turn off that goddamn internet.
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. TP, are they going to touch me?
So, you know Pat Robertson, the televangelist pastor that looks like the oldest chimpanzee at the zoo?
Yeah.
He retired recently because he's like 200 years old or whatever. But he came out of retirement to deliver a special message to the people.
Oh, this has got to be good.
Yeah.
I think you can say, well, Putin's out of his mind. Yes, maybe.
He's melting. He looks like he's melting and melting and melting. Look at those jowls.
How old is this fucking guy?
200.
He better be older than Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah. Oh, he's like 900 years old.
So,
is this Alfred E. Newman grown up?
At the same time, he's being compelled by God. He went into the Ukraine, but that wasn't his goal. His goal...
Back in the day, they used to call it the Ukraine, so that's why he just called it that. It used to be known as the Ukraine, and in the United States, that's what it was referred to.
Was to move against Israel ultimately. And God is getting ready to do something amazing, and that will be fulfilled. And what Putin is doing by moving as he is.
Is he about to say Putin's doing God's work?
Sounds like he's Putin simping.
He's about to say Putin is like literally doing God's work.
To set up Ukraine as a staging ground for one of the armies, and then across is Erdogan at Turkey, and you've got between them that little Dardanelles area, and it's going to happen. So I just say that is what's coming up. Is Putin crazy? Is he mad? Well, perhaps. But God says, I'm going to put hooks in your jaws, and I'm going to draw you into this battle, whether you like it or not. And he's being compelled after the move into the Ukraine.
So it's not Putin's fault God's hook-jawed Putin?
Yeah, he's doing God's bidding. Putin's just like, he might be a little crazy, but God's making him do it.
Compelled to move again to get a land bridge and then across the Dardanelles with Turkey, and watch what's going to happen next. You read your Bible because it's coming to pass.
So he thinks, I kind of feel like he thinks this is, the end of days coming up.
He's been waiting for it, and he's willing to put the hook in Putin's mouth.
Yes, I lived long enough to see it.
Got to come out of retirement for this one. God put the hooks in Putin's mouth. God's fish hooking Putin.
To LGBTQ Christians who persist and continue struggling to follow Jesus in any way are looking to find themselves represented in the Bible. Men who seek relationships with men may look to the story of David and Jonathan.
Oh my goodness, she just called David and Jonathan a couple queers. Now, David had a whole lot of women. And David, he had a whole lot of problems.
Okay.
But one of them wasn't that he was fruity. One of his problems was not that he was a fruitcake.
Ben, could you bend forward so like this guy's railing you in the ass while he's talking down on gay people?
That wasn't one of his problems.
Gay. Yeah. Ben taking one for the team. This is a win for all liberals.
He liked
all atheists. Atheists win.
Women a little too much. That's what his problem was.
David's problem was he liked women too much.
He had lust in the heart, and he liked women a lot.
I heard he had a thing for Goliath.
Women seeking relationships with women may look to the covenant between Ruth
I should probably
and Naomi,
switch scenes.
and those who are trans or fall between or outside the gender binary.
Here we go.
Ruth and Naomi were not queers. Holy buckets. Talk
Holy
about
buckets.
twisting scripture.
Holy buckets.
How in the world do you get Ruth and Naomi being sods? Being
Sods?
lesbos?
They were
being
made out of dirt?
Binary may identify with Joseph and their amazing Technicolor dream coat. Which
Joseph's coat was not a fruity coat.
He doesn't have
It was a coat of many colors.
It was a Technicolor
It
dream
wasn't
coat.
the colors of the homo rainbow.
Well, it was too. Prove it. It's
My
Joseph's
goodness.
Technicolor rainbow.
This is how witches are. That right there in front of you, man, don't even get me fired up. That
Get
what you
fired
got
up,
right in front of you
you
is a
dork.
sick, twisted witch. That's what that is. And I'm so sick and tired of these sick. By the way, this is what people say. Pastor Cooley, you're just a railer. I mean, you got to stop railing. Why? You want me to talk as effeminate as you do? You want me to talk as soft and squishy as you do? Well, I'll tell you something right now. God didn't call me to talk soft and squishy. I'm
You
not
look
no Teddy
soft and
Ruxpin or
squishy.
Winnie the Pooh teddy bear. All right? God called me to preach the word. God called me to preach it straight. And
You
God
look like a
called
little
me to
bitch
call
boy.
it how it's seen right there in
God
front
didn't
of
call
us.
me to tell you that.
And that, my friend, on that screen is an absolute witch.
Absolute witch. A real man wouldn't
They
call a
get
woman
to
a
take
witch.
God's word or attempt to take God's word
Real man
and
call a woman a
absolutely
fucking
twist
bitch.
it around into something that it isn't.
You Pussy.
And you expect me to sit here as a preacher of God's word who's given my life for the gospel and to preach the word of God and listen to some dyke talk about God and pervert
You drop
every
the
Bible
D-bomb
character?
and call her a witch?
That's a witch.
That's a witch.
Plain and simple.
Please, dude, you're about as
That
technicolor as that dream coat.
Witch.
You're overcompensating. Yeah, that's a witch. You know, if I was reading the Bible, I would interpret it however the hell I wanted to. I'd say, yeah, David and Jonathan, obviously gay. Ruth and Naomi, obviously gay. Joseph was obviously trans with his dream coat. Because I wouldn't care. Because all of it is a fucking up to interpretation. Down the board, every single pastor interprets it whatever way they want to. That's the word. The Bible is like the alphabet. Just a whole bunch of jumbled shit people put together to formulate actual sentences, little words. But it's the gospel. God cross-dresses on Wednesdays? God's probably fleek on Wednesday. Gets his and or her hair slicked back extra nice. Looking like they just came out of a bathtub with their shirt on, nipples protruding through the white, wet tee. Right? God's bulge packed away, tucked maybe a little bit, tucked a little bit under, but ready to fucking pop out at a moment's notice. Am I right? Am I right? I don't know if I'm right. God is a femboy Twitch streamer with bisexual lighting? Probably. Things are happening. The gospel, baby. Let's go. If God's word was Yod, it would be incompatible with Yaub. Damn, I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean. God wishes everyone would stop talking about her. Please, leave God alone. Sticky already has a Jesus fetish. Would you go like twat hard for a femboy Jesus? Is that a damn? Actually, little Jimmy, that is a don't say it. Billy, just talk about Chipotle. I should. It's about time. Because here's the thing about Chipotle. Chipotle isn't up for interpretation. It is what it is. The Bible is all interpretation. Are we going to milk that cringe cow live, Billy? Oh, egghead. I'm going to smack the shit out of you live. Those of you that did not catch Actual Mania this weekend, check it out. Spoiler alert. Egghead has been held over the fire. And next month, when we go back to Actual Mania, Egghead will be forced live to defend his title. None of this half cringe stuff. I'm going to be directing him through the entire matchup. In just, 10 seconds time? Sunday night?
Well,
got Egghead to smack himself in the balls.
Egghead's going to have a title defense that night. The world champion's going to have a title defense. And then we're going to have the currency in the account match where the winner gets to cash in against whoever the champion may be when they cash it in.
Yeah.
It's the road to Actual Mania.
Coming soon. I want a big hairy bear type Jesus. That like a big fat.
Shows, the only moral
chubby,
value that's
cute Jesus.
imparted is just like don't bully people. When in reality, we need to bully people more. Bullying and stigma isn't something to avoid. Bullying and stigma is important because it maintains societal values. Okay, the best thing about
here's the problem about bullying more. The kids who are going to be bullying, like when we bring bullying back, because it's inevitable that bullying comes back. But the first wave of bullies are going to be bitch beta snowflakes because they weren't bullied. And it's going to make for some really awkward bullying. And that's the problem I don't like about bringing bullying back. We got to dust off the professionals.
Build back bullying better.
Yeah. They should hire me to go to school and pick on kids. So I can make a good generation of bullies to carry the torch.
better bullying
women is that in the past, if they saw other women who weren't being a good member of the flock and who weren't being virtuous, they'd fucking make fun of them. They'd ostracize them for it. Stigmatizing is good.
Oh my God. I hate how he's got 75% of a $10,000 goal.
Slut shaming is epic.
halfway there.
Okay? If you have bad behavior, which hinders the furthering of a good
I don't know if these are in sequence or
civilization
what the
of a
distance
healthy
between them
society, maybe you should be stigmatized for it. But instead, we live in this world where, you know, marrying your sex dolls and turning yourself via massive amounts of plastic surgery into a fucking nightmare sex doll is epic, you know, and there's nothing wrong with it. And if you say there's anything wrong with it, you need to mind your own business and stop worrying about what other people are doing.
I
Sorry,
think that's
dude, I live in this society. Sorry.
No, you know, I think that is good advice for you. I think, yeah, whoever told you that, pretty smart.
Though I think that he should mind his own business, yes. I also think the people that tell people to mind their own business should also learn how to not let people like this into their own business. Stop letting these fucking weak pricks get to you. That's half the problem. Thin skin is weak, and these guys are some of the most pathetic level bullies. And they're breaking through. They're saying some of the dumbest, shittiest takes, and you're allowing it to crumble your reality. That's a problem too.
Well, he gets really bent out of shape about things that really don't matter.
Yeah, he snowflaked because they started tagging progressive things on his favorite rock quarry.
Yeah.
He cried about
Where
how
him and his family and his family.
when I was a young little boy, my father took me down to the quarry and I wrote big red retard against the wall to represent me and my family. But now I go there and it says Black Lives Matter. And I'm like, oh, my graffiti has been ruined.
It's been ruined.
Ruined.
Sorry if I want to maintain some sort of fucking decency,
Lowbrow Jester's
man.
quoting, bullying keeps you from being gay. Not true. It just makes you a submissive gay.
Right. I mean, if you're already gay, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Bullying's just going to make other changes.
It just makes you get off on being pounded out and talked down to.
I do want to point something out. Last night, I did a Patreon private show for my other Patreon, the BenPie Patreon, which is patreon.com/BenPie. And normally I do $5 Patreon private shows like like we do here over there. But last night I made it exclusive so that all patrons $1 or above got it. So if anyone wants like 4 hours of me, there's like 4 hours of me getting progressively drunk, watching a lot of cool shit. I broke into the DP archives and played some shit that hasn't been seen in a very long time. So if you're interested in that, it's only $1. If you join for $1 on patreon.com/BenPie, you can watch that. I put it up there for $1 for everyone. It's a 4-hour stream. It's something you can check out later. I'll put this in the chat if you want to see it. All right, back to this.
And instead, you know, like, and no one on the conservative side will make this argument. No one on the conservative side will actually just take a position and say, we are morally righteous. You know, the left wing does it all the time.
Righteous, man.
They'll say, oh, dude, racist. They're just morally, incompatible with a free society. Racists are just so morally wrong. We're the good guys. You know, they literally say that. We're the good guys. You know, history's on our side. We're the good guys. We love gay people. We love immigration. We just want to be nice to people. That's what the left-wing party's all about.
They hate immigration so much. That's. I watched the Louis Theroux documentary one more time, and that's really the thing that they hammer home the most is like, we don't want outsiders moving here anymore, because that'll stop the people of color moving here too. It's an interesting thing that they want.
And the right wing, conservatives, at least on paper, we should have Christ behind us. We should have religion behind us. And for some reason, we're incapable of making any sort of moral argument whatsoever, or taking into our hearts any sort of moral righteousness.
No low energy videos. This is what happens when Nick Fuentes has fans. And like, this is Nick Fuentes, like, this is on cozy.tv or whatever. And he's a Nick Fuentes simp that got popular in the community. It's gross. It's gross.
About, our politics, man. We are morally correct. It is degenerate to have transgenders. It's degenerate to have gay sex being...
What do you mean to have them? Like, you probably never see any, in the circles that you run in, so why do you care that they exist? It doesn't affect you at all.
It's degenerate to have them drinking the same water as me.
Oh.
Breathing the same air as me. They can't exist because I'm such a fragile little bitch boy.
Promoted. All of this stuff is wrong. It's degenerate to turn yourself into a nightmare mode fucking, like blow up sex doll like this fuck did. Okay? We are morally...
Bodily autonomy.
Correct. We are morally correct. But for some reason, we're just too retarded to talk about it. Or because we're fucking jabronis who are paid to lose by corporations, which I think is a bit more accurate.
That's the end of the clip.
We're jabronis that are paid to lose by corporations. Is that what they're doing? They're just giving Nick Fuentes his pedestal because he looks like such a loser, and Wurzelroot is calling him out on
it.
Brett Damon is calling him out on it.
Yes, I believe so.
Oops.
Check this out, though.
Individual situation. Check out that beautiful asshole.
The individual Brett Keane segment situation.
All right, here it is.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane. If you would like to support God TV...
All right, let's skip this shit.
Gord TV Radio.
How? All right.
Here with... My name is Brett Keane from God TV Radio. I'm here with my wife, Dawn Keane, and we're going to talk about some of her favorite things in the whole wide world. Honey Bunny, what is your favorite animal?
Cats. Actually, tigers to be more specific, but I like all cats.
She's probably a Scott Henson fan.
Yeah, her and Scott Henson are living that life.
Yeah.
Like tall cats?
All cats.
All cats. So we've been loving animals for years and all that. How many cats would you say?
You've been loving animals for years?
Animals.
Oh, my God.
I want to see Brett on season 3 of Tiger King. Brett and Dorn buy tigers.
They never leave their house, though.
I think they could get away with a few tigers in that domestic compound.
We have at this point.
Well, we actually are owned by one cat, but I feed about 9 or 10 neighborhood cats. And
That's not... Feeding, neighborhood cats isn't a good thing. Because it becomes a breeding ground, and then there's more homeless cats. It's not a good idea.
I've named them, even though some of them are feral, some of them are other people's pets that they let out of their house. The cat that owns us came to us about 7 years ago. Her name is Fuzzy Butt.
Fuzzy Butt?
She's a long-haired cat, not a Maine Coon.
Fuzzy
She's
Butt
a normal-sized
King?
house cat, but...
Did she just say...
She has long, long fur. And the reason I named her Fuzzy Butt was because the first time I saw her, she was walking away from me, and she had a fuzzy butt. But she doesn't potty in the house at all, won't use her litter box, so she only potties outside. She's an indoor-outdoor.
I love how Brett. This is Brett in his element, letting someone else do the talking while he sits there and just shoves food into his gullet, and they just do all the talking. These were the old school Brett Keane streams, but now he can only get Dorn to do it for him.
Damn.
Yeah.
Cat. She tells us when she's ready. She'll meow at us or otherwise occupy us and say, "Come, let me out."
What, Brett? You got a talking cat?
Name Fuzzy Butt. This is Come Let Me Out.
Fuzzy Butt the talking cat.
I'm coming out. I got that fuzzy butt.
That fuzzy butt.
She is very much spoiled. She loves tuna.
Real cats do like fish, by the way.
They love tuna.
Yep.
Scott Henson, not a tuna fan.
Not a real cat.
Not a
Actually,
real cat.
Almost any fish, but really tuna. Some of the cats that I've named that come around, there's Bandit. He's white and dark gray. A little lighter than charcoal is before you burn it. And he got the markings that he has. He's white with the gray over his eyes, so it looks like a bandit mask.
Look at
Just gorging.
Yeah.
Almost like sunglasses. He's a tomcat, feral. I don't think he's had an owner. He doesn't really let me get too close. Won't let me pet him, but he'll let me get close enough to feed him. And he'll come up to me if he's hungry. There's Woody, as I call him. Brett calls him Woody Harrelson. Originally, his name was Diesel, but he doesn't look like a Diesel.
Yeah, he's definitely a Woody Harrelson. He's my little natural-born killer.
Ooh. Natural-born killer.
He likes to be pet. He likes to be held. He really likes to jump up on your shoulders and lay across your shoulders. My daughter and I found that out the hard way. He's a very sweet cat to humans. To some of the cats, he's very territorial and hisses at them, and they have arguments.
This is the most wholesome Brett video ever. I'm just wondering if he's going to, like, accuse someone of being a Play-Doh enthusiast.
He's going to call, like, one of the dogs there a Nazi.
Sometimes it's funny, and I have to tell him stop. He's
Like
gray
Egghead.
with, like, dark gray and light gray stripes. Let's
Egghead's
see,
a
Fuzzy Butt,
Nazi.
she's light gray and kind of, she's turning, I don't know what color she's turning, but she's white and light gray. And she has a little white mark above her left eye, an eyebrow, kind of reminds me of Harry Potter. His lightning bolt. Then there's Boots. He is dark gray with dark gray, light gray, and white stripes, and like white socks or boots, so I call him Boots.
If people, he puts his number in his videos so that when people call it and give him shit, he'll make a video like, atheist call Brett King, I'll leave shitty fucking voicemail.
If you guys want to
messages."
call Brett Keane and tell him about your cat,
Yep.
I think he'd like that.
He was somebody's
Let's have
cat.
a little cat talk.
Pet. He originally, when we saw him first, he had a blue collar. He's since worked that off, so he's collarless now. He comes around and eats.
And by the way, anyone who hasn't seen Brett in a little while, he is laying on his belly in bed still. Yeah. He just got better with, because like technology, like a lot of people don't even need green screens now.
Do you think that we're gonna see his flipper feet pop up anytime soon?
You might see him.
Let's see, there's Creamsicle is what I call him.
Creamsicle?
He has the same markings as Boots.
No, Creamsicle is a dog, all right? Creamsicle is not a cat.
But he's an orange cat, so he's got dark orange, light orange, and white,
Creamsicle's
with white boots
kidder
as well.
Cunt.
Then there's the one called Mama Kitty, or that I call Mama Kitty. She is gray and white like our Fuzzy Butt, and she's fuzzy as well. But she has more gray on her than our cat does.
You got way too many cats.
She gave birth to a few kittens. I think Creamsicle was one of them, and then she gave birth to 2 twins, and they have the same gray on them that Bandit does. So I'm thinking he might be the daddy, or one of them anyway. But the twins, out of the twins, one of them will actually let me
Probably
pet
gonna get
him,
a Brett Keane video of just
especially
like,
when being fed.
atheists attack my wife and 10 cats.
I haven't attacked her at all. All I said was that's a lot of cats.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's the black cat with the white.
But yeah, he'll do that.
Rey Mysterio-looking motherfucker
Yeah.
question whether or not my cat likes tuna fish.
Got quarter-sized white dot on its chest. And that one comes around. Let's see. There's the one that Angelica calls Cinnamon. It's got black and gray swirls markings. Very pretty cat. Looks like it needs to be loved on, but it doesn't get quite close enough. He's a very vocal cat. Let's see, the 2 twins. And there's the cow kitty. He's white with the black spots like a cow.
Cow kitty.
Big old
Cow kitty,
black spots.
white
and then
with
there's
black
the gray
spots.
cow kitty, which has the gray same
Dorn
spots.
is
but
a cat
real light gray.
aficionado.
Let's see, what other cats
Yeah.
have we had come around? We
She's
had the mama
really
cat come, and she was
collected
pregnant.
herself a
She's the
little
one that
Animal
brought Fuzzy Butt
Crossing.
to us years ago. She came to us. I pet her one time, and she
Here
stuck
in
around just long enough to
Festus,
give birth.
Missouri.
And then brought her kittens back to our home, so I would be able to help take care of them. They're very cute little kitty cats. Very cute.
Well, tell everybody about our cats, how much they appreciate and love us, how they want to bring us trophies.
Oh, yes. Brett doesn't like these trophies because he stepped on a few of them without shoes on.
Were they like dead mice or something?
I hope it's dead
birds?
mice.
Half of
I hope that
birds,
cats
half of
didn't bring
rabbits.
them actual
That's
trophies.
That's what she just said.
The
Several
birds.
times. Yeah. Fuzzy Butt wanted to contribute. I think another cat brought a bird to us one time, too. Of course, we get rid of them, put them out in the yard.
Can you
so they can-
imagine being like a almost completely dead bird, and you're like being carried around Brett Keane's house by a little Fuzzy Butt, and then finally you get set down in some pile of hummus or whatever lays on Brett's carpet. I have no idea. And then your last moment is looking up and seeing the few times Brett decides to take a walk to the pisser. He fucking stomps you out barefoot is your last memory.
Oh, that's
Finish them
horrible.
off.
Sucks.
I do tell the cats thank you very much, but we don't want them. They like them right outside the front door. So, literally right outside the front door, not a foot from the door, like 3 inches from the door. And Brett doesn't appreciate the cat's gifts.
I think the only animal that we have any kind of animosity towards is the woodpecker. We've got a bird that...
He's about to go in on this woodpecker,
I
isn't
love
he?
big fat woody peckers.
likes to pound on our home and all that, and it's extremely noisy.
Likes to pound on them.
And it always seems to do it whenever I'm in the middle of a good television show like Witcher or something like that. Oh, maybe our cats will get onto that thing one of these days.
I don't know. That bird likes to be up high, and the cats can't climb the side of our home. Yeah, but it likes to peck at the eaves. I mean, oh gosh, what was it, 4 or 5 summers ago? This thing started, and it has actually drilled a hole in the side of my house. But I used to go out there with a squirt gun, water, not anything else, and squirt it. Sometimes I knock on the inside of the wall from inside the house, so it will go away.
Brett needs to get a super soaker to attack the woody pecker.
At the back of the house where our room is. This stupid, atrocious bird would knock, pecking. And once I pounded on the wall, and I think it startled it. I don't know if it killed it or not, but it hasn't been back.
You killed a bird. You guys are
perfectly
We talked a little bit about maybe getting us a puppy dog or a wolf. And you,
a wolf?
You're not really
You
sure
should
about
not
that.
get a wolf.
Not anything that would want to eat our
Brett
cats. or
should
anything.
get a wolf.
Used to have a dog whenever I was younger that
just so we can
was
hear
extremely
about
smart,
Brett's wolf
intelligent.
stories.
Well, what kind of mix was that, you think?
I don't know. She was a mutt. She was
Goddamn
adorable.
thing bit
I met her
one of
a
my
few times when I
fingers
started
off.
dating. But then she passed, unfortunately. Her name was Lady.
Yeah. So you were talking about a cat that's got a spot on it. What's the name of that one? I can't keep track of all these cats and their names. I can remember Fuzzy Ass and what's Woody Harrelson, because he's my natural born killer. But what's the other ones?
Well, the black cat I haven't actually named because I don't know if it's a cat that our sister-in-law likes and wants to have. Unfortunately, she's allergic to cats, so
she just named off all 10 cats.
But I've seen one down at their house and I've seen one here. Don't know if it's the same cat. I don't think it is, but it could be.
10 cats you
I haven't
just
named that
talked
one.
about.
Well, why don't we go ahead and we could do some other parts in the future? Is there some bands as well as some songs that you'd like to say that you'd like to hear?
Well, I think one that would be appropriate for this speech, this segment, would be Eye of the Tiger by Survivor.
Okay, Eye of the Tiger. How about some Cat Scratch Fever?
Yeah, that'd work too. I was trying to think of names, songs with cat in it, but that's the only two that I can think of.
And then
Mr.
Delica showed us
Mephistopheles.
a track a long time ago. It's more of a modern song by Katy Perry, Roar.
Oh, yes.
I actually kind of like that one.
Yeah, I sing along to it. Of course, if I sing to it while Angelica's around, she's like, Mom, of course, because it's embarrassing to have your mom singing and dancing in the truck while driving. Now, if I hear it while we're in a store, because usually stores have their PA system and they've got the radio going, I hear songs, I start dancing along as I'm shopping, and Mom, stop. I think I'm a fun mom. I said, she tells me all the time I'm weird and strange. Well, would you rather have a weird and strange and fun mom who's still stern and strict about things, or one that just does things by the book and is blah?
Well, I think that's one of the greatest things about you, honey. You're unique, and you're sweet and beautiful in all ways. I know you don't want to be on video right now because we don't want ourselves doing karaoke on other people's videos and all that, but it's all good.
No karaoke.
Karaoke on other people's video.
No karaoke.
I appreciate the compliments, my sweetheart.
Oh, it's all good. Well, folks, we're about to have us some beef stew. There was a YouTuber who asked a while
Is
ago
beef stew is French vanilla situation for sex?
I don't think so. I think it's literal beef stew.
Because when I was hanging out with Boogie 2988 and his ex-wife, they had a code word for sex, a food code word for sex. So I just assume now all fats have food code words for sex.
To do
one day I'll lose my virginity and get a food code. Mine will be Chipotle. You want to get some Chipotle?
What do we like to eat? Cooking recipes. Do the Keens have like their own recipes? And my wife actually talked about that and responded to them on the radio. What are we about to have? What have you been cooking up in there? It smells so good.
Well, I got my trusty crock pot out. We're doing homemade beef stew, baby doll. Got my beef stew meat. I got chopped up my onions.
They're so backwoods.
Gonna have some beef stew night, baby doll.
Baby doll.
And my
Baby doll.
potatoes and my carrots. Put my seasoning in and some beef broth, of course, instead of water. But my
Beef
seasonings, I
broth
put
instead of
sage, salt,
water.
white pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and then I did put a slow roast packet of seasoning in there as well. It really brings it all together.
Am I gonna go to Brett's house, eat this pot of stew, and then
Invite
fight
him
him in the backyard?
Yeah, do it.
Possibly. Possibly.
Do it.
Some good sounding stew right
And by the
there.
way, I have them I have them sped up. So if they sound very energetic, that's because I have them sped up.
It's not crystal meth, guys.
Yeah.
Very delicious, and yes, it's smelling really. I like to cook it until the meat is so tender that you can cut it with a spoon.
Cut it with
so
a
it'll take about
spoon.
6 or 8 hours for that to get to that point.
Fight him in a pool of beef stew.
When
Oh
I
my
first met my
God.
wife,
Our genitals
I was
stirring the hot
skinny enough to be able to hula hoop with a Cheerio. But now, as you can see, after my wife's
He
good,
was not skinny. He was not skinny. There's videos of him like he was not
He definitely
skinny to
wasn't
hula
gonna-
hoop through a Cheerio.
He definitely wasn't going to hula hoop through a Cheerio.
Yeah.
He might be able to slide his dick into a donut. I don't know about that, though.
cooking and all that. I think that Gordon Ramsay would be proud. Here I am, 250 pounds of pure sexually erotic combustible power. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, I just when people say, my goodness, you're getting you a little bit of a belly, Brett. I said, that's not a belly. That's a gas tank for a sex machine. Well, I love you, baby. Thank you for doing this with me. Of course, this is going up on the radio, and I will put together all the songs. I'm trying to remember one I seen a long time ago. I don't know if the woman's name was Beyonce or Bianca or something like that.
Bianca.
Had enough.
Probably looking Beyonce.
She does a song where there's a bunch of meowing and cat instrument sounds. So she synthesized.
There's no way he's only 250 pounds unless he's like 5 foot even.
Yeah, he's obvious. All guys like that are big lie about their weight.
It's their keyboard. Actually sounds pretty good.
I don't know that I've heard that one.
Well, you'll be hearing it on the radio shortly. All right, let's close her out. We hope that you...
All right. So that was interesting. It's me. How's it going, everybody? Cheers. I'm going to crack open a cold one in a moment here. We don't have too much time left in tonight's show. We're almost at our usual 2.5 hour mark. So we'll go for a little bit longer, and then we'll be done for the night. I just thought it'd be cool to do the State of the Union thing. I think it was fun to watch it to a degree. The Republican rebuttal was dumb and boring, way more boring. They should have picked somebody better. They probably should have had Marjorie Taylor Greene, right? Isn't that the direction that they're moving in these days? I think they should have just pulled the trigger on that, you know? Whew. They should have. Yeah, he's not 250. There's no way. Unless he's insanely short. So I've been drinking. Oh, you can't even really see it. This beer, the label on it looks like a juicy fruit gum packet wrapper thingy. Whew, man. Something weird happens to me at night, and I start getting allergies really bad. So my nose feels like it wants to just start sneezing really bad. Juicy fruit, the taste is gonna move you. Yeah, I'm pouring the beer now. Tubes. There we go. There. It kind of vanishes with the green screen. It's interesting. Beer. Yeah, I drank a ton of beer last night on my private show. Yeah, I need to add some Mountain Dew to this beer. A drink combo is in order, right? An epic drink combo.
The can looks like it's Mountain Dew. It's double mint, or what's it called?
Juicy
fruit.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's
But
juicy
the old
fruit.
Mountain Dew, I stuttered so much trying to get that out. The old Mountain Dew cans used to have that yellow and green kind of to it too, but
I like how
way back in the day.
Mountain Dew's Mountain Dew used to have a drunk hillbilly on drunk on moonshine.
Yeah.
On the bottle. It's kind of hilarious.
You know, I'm not thinking classic Mountain Dew. I'm thinking classic Mellow Yellow.
Mellow Yellow,
which was a
that makes way more
competitor.
sense.
So immediately when I saw that, I'm like, that looks like Mountain. No, it's Mellow Yellow.
It's Juicy Goose.
If you guys ever drank Mellow Yellow, it was literally like just Mountain Dew, right? Am I
It was a
wrong
little bit
about that?
different, but it was similar, but a little bit different. I used to drink Squirt. Remember Squirt, like the grapefruit?
Yeah, I used to drink a lot of Squirt. This is so much for green screen,
right?
But it reminded me of Mellow Yellow, green, red, and yellow. Like that's pretty close, right? Similar.
Yeah, they were just trying to make it like a juicy fruit wrapper.
Yeah.
Juicy Goose.
Juicy Goose from Hale's
Juicy
Brewery.
Goose. Juicy Goose.
One time, I got my penis stuck.
Just one time?
One time.
Was it like how like dogs can get locked together? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I'd spilled some chips in my lap, and so I thought it would be like a good idea to vacuum it at the one of those car vacuum places, get all the chips out of my crotch, and sucked up the peener.
Was it the same place you washed your skin off?
No, this one was down by an Arby's, a little further
I can't
down the road.
believe you thought that would work.
That shit sucked.
I know.
That was a
It's a
mistake.
power washer.
That was an immediate mistake.
It's not made for your skin. It's made for like a metal or like fiberglass outside of a car to like get like all the dirt and like bird poo poo and stuff off of it.
They actually started putting heads on the vacuum cleaners that were flat instead of round, so that the flat heads couldn't get your penis into them. Because so many people were trying to stick them in the vacuums. Like if you have your own power vac at home, you can get different attachments.
Yeah.
You can get the flathead attachment. You can get the penis attachment. They got options. But when you don't have access to one of those, you just want to pump a few quarters in and clean the chips out of your lap.
Yeah. Yeah, so we only got like 4 more minutes. Please give us a like, and we'll be back on Tuesday. I assume we'll have Scott.
Thursday.
Or Thursday, I'm sorry. Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday. I think we'll have Scott.
We had quite a fun time last Thursday for episode
Holy
1000.
shit.
So it'll be even more interesting to see how 1003 is. Will Thursdays ever be the same? That's the question.
I think on Saturday we have Brad Jones, the cinema snob, on.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Billy, send me an RC Cola? No. I don't.
RC Cola.
I'm not in the business of shipping RC Cola. Okay.
Yeah.
Go to the store and buy an RC Cola.
Do you remember that screenshot when we had Brad and Justin Wang on, and we were all doing the like getting a blowjob thing?
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That was the origination of Sweet Boy. Just 4 sweet boys.
Yeah.
Getting
that was so funny.
Adulation. Big Red Cola. I remember Big Red Cola. That was a good one. All the classic colas. I'm trying to think what cola I missed the most.
I liked all the different flavors of Faygo. My mom used to buy these like big variety packs because they were really cheap of Faygo back in the 80s. And there was a red pop, there was cola, there was grape. Oh man, there was like a almost like a Sprite kind, like every flavor of soda you can think of. Like Faygo made like a generic version of it.
I used to buy 3 liters of Faygo Red Pop at the Rite Aid.
Yeah,
down the road from the Magic the Gathering card store. I get a 3 liter for 99 cents. And I thought I was the coolest kid in the world drinking 3 liters
time,
of garbage.
I was driving around Detroit trying to find a place I was going to, and I drove right by the Faygo factory, which was interesting.
We didn't often have Faygo around here. It would be like a niche thing.
Yeah,
Every once
it's
in a while,
made
you'd see
in
it pop up
Detroit
somewhere.
so it was everywhere when I was a kid.
Yeah, Wang just passed 1 million subs.
Yeah, I saw that I think a week ago or something.
Big time. Rock and Rye Faygo is great.
Rock and Rye, yeah. I grew up drinking that shit.
What flavor is that?
It's like rye.
Huh.
Yeah, Rock and Rye. Let's see.
Interesting. I only think of rye as like a rye bread.
Let me see.
I don't think I've ever had like a whiskey.
You've
and
heard
rye.
of yeah.
I don't think I've ever even had one, so I don't even know what a rye tastes like outside of bread.
Let's see.
Chet says he's got a case of Rock and Rye in the house. What?
Yeah.
You just stocking up on Rock and Rye?
Hold on. Here.
Bill Clinton likes RC Cola. He would. It's kind of like Mr. Pibb. Okay, that makes sense.
Interesting.
Is Mr. Pibb kind of like Dr. Pepper, though?
It's similar.
Huh.
Yeah, Rock and Rye right here.
Skibbity-bop-bop, Rock and Rye.
Yeah, Faygo Rock and Rye.
They have a candle, a Faygo-flavored candle, Rock and Rye scented candle.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I wonder if Faygo actually makes that or if someone else makes it. They just tried to mimic it. Yeah, dude, a 2-liter of Rock and Rye, man. I grew up on, or actually that's a 20
a 3-liter, right? Or it's a 20?
Yeah, that's a 20 ounce.
You can
I
tell
noticed
by
it
the
was
cap.
kind of stout, you
Yeah.
know, there you go. Yeah, dude, I love that kind of pop. I grew up calling it pop, and I stopped. I've trained myself to stop because I've lived in the western United States for most of my adult life. So I had to call it soda. In New Mexico, a lot of people call it soda, and then a lot of people who are native Albuquerque people are not Native American, but people who are native to Albuquerque,
Yeah.
their family's been there for a long time. They call it all Coke. It's that southern thing where everything's Coke, even Pepsi, even Mountain Dew Coke.
Coke.
Kind of Coke.
I'll have an orange Coke.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, now that the Coke Freestyle machines, you could get an orange Coke, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have all the flavors. Those machines are so cool.
I remember the first time I saw one, I'm like, what? You can get raspberry ginger ale?
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
They have a whole
Seagram's
section
ginger ale.
Yeah. They have a whole section of 0-calorie stuff and no caffeine stuff.
Yep.
You can really get bastardized on options. I want one of those machines in my house.
Go fuck yourself, Magicus. It does not taste like ass.
Maybe Magicus likes ass.
Oh, there you go. Well, he thinks mayo and he thinks Miracle Whip and mayo are totally different things. So
yeah, obviously they taste different, but that doesn't mean they're different things.
They have a similar texture.
Magicus says Faygo is badass. I wonder if Magicus has ever eaten good ass.
Oh, so it does taste. What does he mean? Does he mean badass as in good, or does he mean no, it's the bad kind of ass?
I think it's bad kind of ass.
See, you're so bad at communicating.
Yeah, he's
Magicus.
about as
everything you're saying can be interpreted so many ways.
He's about as clear as Joe Biden when he speaks.
Badass as in gross. All right, well, I remember people were like, "Whoa, that's badass." That usually meant it was good, right?
Badass. I know, Magicus. Chill out, man.
Magicus.
We just watched Joe
Chill.
Biden talk for an hour. We can't handle your rhetoric.
Yeah.
Go drink some Faygo and chill the fuck out.
Get so drunk that you slur like Biden.
Yeah, Magicus. Be sleepy, Magicus. Do a night-night. A treat is the best soda? What's a treat? A treat?
You ever had Fresca?
Yeah, I used to drink
Do you
Fresca
like it?
all the time as a kid. It's a caffeine-free, zero-calorie option.
Some of it.
I think all Fresca
Really?
was 0 calorie. I think that was the point of Fresca. Pretty sure it's caffeine-free, too.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah, I think it was a dietary option that got brought out early on. It might predate Diet Coke even. I'm not sure.
Huh.
I could be wrong about that. I can't remember exactly when Diet Coke came out.
No, Fresca has 150 calories.
Well, fuck me. I've been drinking Fresca all this time.
Yeah, I just pulled up here's the nutrition facts on
What?
Fresca.
Who
It's
lied to
150
me?
calories.
I
It's
really wanna lose 3
39
pounds.
grams of carbs.
What
you
the
drinking
fuck?
that shit think you're losing weight?
What the fuck?
It doesn't have caffeine.
I had 1,000 Frescas. I had 1,000 fucking Frescas.
Yeah, Jones Soda was really good.
Because
Jones.
look at this. I'm looking at the original Fresca sparkling soda water on a can. Doesn't say diet anywhere on the can. It says 0 calories.
Well, that's soda water. That's
But this
like
is the original. It's sparkling soda. It's what Fresca always was, I thought.
no.
Are you sure that you got right information here?
Let's see. Hold on.
Because I don't know if I ever seen a Fresca with calories in it.
You know
in
what?
my
I
life.
typed in Fresca calories, but I think I don't know what it brought up this nutrition information. I don't know what's going on.
I'll tell you what's going on.
I don't know. You see what I typed in here? Fresca calories, but then down here it says 0 calories. So I don't know.
Yeah, how many calories in Fresca? 0. See, this is, you know what this is? This is mainstream media trying to discredit me.
I don't know. I just typed it in. I was just trying to find out. I wasn't sure.
Interesting. Who is setting me up? Billy drink tab like
It's
autism
Big
powers,
Corn.
baby. I won't do it.
It's Big Corn.
Big Corn wants that high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, they heard you were talking shit.
That mandated 10% corn in all
Big
gasoline.
Corn? You were keeping Big Corn in business because of all the fucking orange high C you were drinking from McDonald's.
I used to drink so much of that.
Yeah.
I would get a orange
It's like
high
pure
C,
sugar.
a 20-piece nugget with sweet and sour.
More high fructose corn
Yeah.
syrup. Oh, and I bet the nugs are fried in corn syrup too, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Corn
yeah.
oil.
Yeah.
And then I would go and get probably 2 Big and Tasties. This is back when I was running
Big
McDonald's.
and Tasties.
The McDonald's Power Menu.
Was it like 99-cent Big
At the
and
time,
Tasties?
they were 99
Yeah, I
cent.
remember those.
I get like 2 Big and Tasties, a 20-piece McNugget, large orange soda.
Is it soda or was it the high C?
High C,
Okay.
large orange high
So it wasn't
C.
carbonated, right?
Yeah, it was
okay.
little baby bitch high C.
I thought it was good, dude. I used to drink. I was addicted to that shit. My pupils would dilate when I would drink that shit. There's so much sugar in there.
Big Corn mandates 95% of gasoline is mixed with 10% ethanol.
Yeah, yeah. There was a time where ethanol, like as far as politics was going, it was being pushed as an alternative to gasoline.
Do you remember specifically the original Cajun McChicken sandwich?
From where?
From McDonald's.
Honestly, I don't really like McDonald's.
I don't think anybody should like McDonald's.
I'll tell you what. Their new chicken sandwich, but now that everyone's jumping on the chicken sandwich wagon, the McDonald's chicken sandwich, the new one, not
Is
the McChicken,
adequate?
it's good enough. It was spicier than I thought it was going to be, and I like that. I like when I'm like surprised by the spiciness of something. So that was good, and it's so weird because for years I've been putting pickles on a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're doing it
It's all
across
over the
board.
world.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
Well,
it
I
a
was just-
Southern thing?
I think it might be. I used to work at a Wendy's and you were allowed to just like build your own sandwich, and I would build a fried chicken sandwich and put a bunch of pickles and mayo and tomato and lettuce on it.
Back in the day, the McDonald's Cajun chicken was on the dollar menu, and they cooked that chicken differently than any other chicken sandwich they've made since then. It was like the patty itself was like nugget style coating. It was weird.
Chicken McNugget style
It
coating.
it was like a spicy chicken McNugget coating on it. It was like crispier. It was a rare style, and I haven't seen it since. And I want to go back in time. I want to go back in time. I'm gonna get a time machine just to fat around in the past. Now, if I had a TARDIS or the DeLorean, or if I had Bill
Was
and
that a
Ted,
slur that you just said?
What?
If you had a what?
A TARDIS? Yeah. Or a DeLorean or the Bill and Ted phone booth. If I had the power to time travel, I would strictly use it to go back in time and eat all the things that are discontinued.
Oh, dude, I would eat me some racks. Racks, dude.
What is that?
Racks.
I don't know what that is.
It was a roast beef sandwich place.
I've never heard of a Rex. The hot and spicy McChicken. I'm telling you, the Cajun chicken was pre-hot and spicy. It was a different type of chicken coating.
Imagine Arby's, but like better. That's what Rax was.
Better than Arby's?
Way better
what
than Arby's.
What sort of magic is this?
Dude, seriously though, a lot of people think Arby's is trash. Do you think Arby's is good?
I don't know.
Here's
when you're getting hungry for a meal or a snack.
Oh shit.
Get a special sandwich. Stop in at Rax and say, "Pocket to me, baby."
With a tasty taco in a pocket for only 90.
Taco in a pita pocket.
Okay.
That's an interesting menu item, right?
A Rax?
Yep.
9 cents. That's real easy to handle.
They just blow that girl up.
They do a meatball pita pocket.
Pita pocket at Rax.
The Italian meatballs for only $1.19.
Damn, the prices. This is probably late 80s right here.
With the taco pocket or the
Taco pocket.
Just rock it to me, baby, and Rax.
I saw a new sign on the same old place. Had a new hamburger with the same old taste. It wouldn't seem new to me, cause I'm tired of the same old thing. The same old way. Come on and hold me.
Fast food with style.
What are they trying to do? Is that pasta?
Yeah, they had pasta too.
Finally,
what the hell are you doing, Rax?
Something different for dinner. I want you to love me.
But when I ate there, it was more about the roast beef sandwiches.
At the new Rax dinner bar, you create
Oh, they had a dinner bar.
hot pastas and sauces, then hot veggies.
And hot veggies. Anytime you put corn in your fucking fast food advertisement, I question your authority on eats.
You love corn.
Do you guys have Izzy's Pizza back? Izzy's Pizza was like a pizza and buffet. That shit was wild.
I think there actually is one Rax left.
What?
But it's it's either in Michigan or Ohio. Yeah, see.
Hello, Rax.
Hello, baby.
It's for you again.
You know what I
That's the voice of Patty Mayonnaise.
Is it?
Yeah, that was the woman who did Patty Mayonnaise voice.
It's a mushroom Swiss roast beef sandwich.
Bunny, you're alive, I'm hungry for you now.
The mushroom sauce doesn't look that appetizing to me. I don't know.
Rax, we know what you like.
Who's going to pay for this?
It is. You're right.
Who's gonna pay
You're totally
for
right.
this? Patty Mayonnaise, Doug
Did a
Funny's
Rax
gonna pay.
commercial, and then Rax did the worst ad campaign ever, and it ruined their business, and they went out of business.
What they do? We gotta get that. We gotta see the death of Rax. I want to see the death of Rax.
They created a
Cece's
character.
Pizza does suck.
They created a character called Mr. Delicious.
Oh no.
Who would tell like dirty, almost like weird jokes and almost like questionable type stuff.
Anthony in the chat says there's a place called Uranus Fudge Factory.
Ooh.
That sounds like that's keeping it in
Don't
business.
threaten me with a good time.
Behave. Arby, we have the mystery meats.
You're right. All right, where's that Mr. Delicious?
The crazy thing about pizza buffets is like you can get a pizza and that a pizza is going to be like a buffet worthy of food at your house. It's a big old thing of food. Billy slurring and stuttering like Sleepy Joe. Yes, I am. I'm Sleepy Billy. I woke up extra early today to visit my mama and my nana.
I'm Mr. Delicious, the new spokesman for Rax Restaurants.
Did you pull this up
My
recently?
job, to encourage you to enjoy tasty, affordable meals in a more mature dining environment. I know what you're thinking. He's a cartoon. And cartoons are mostly for people who wet their pants. But not Mr. D. He's a special cartoon for adults. And Mr. Delicious always carries this briefcase.
Sorry,
Contents?
Mr. D.
Watch for me and visit Rax.
You're no
Tickety-dee.
annoyed.
Hello there. I'm Mr. Delicious. Did you know the value menu at Rack's features lots of adult-sized
salad
delectables
bar.
for only 99 cents? That's right, and that's fortunate. You see, Mr. Delicious is, well, a little overextended. Perhaps the Rack's executives aren't paying him enough to compromise his integrity. On the other hand, you can't eat integrity, but you certainly can eat a hearty roast beef sandwich for 99 cents.
Yeah.
Dickety-dee.
Dickety-dee.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm glad they went out of business, but I can see why. They really effed themselves in the A with this Mr. D
Our
gimmick.
subject, Value Express combos at the Rack's drive-thru. These tasty delights are priced in low, even dollar
Dickety-dee.
amounts, so there's no change. That's just grand, because Mr. Delicious just had some rather delicate surgery. If there's no change, he doesn't have to squirm so much to put it back in his pocket, now does he? He just grabs his combo and drives ever so slowly over the speed bump. Tickety-dee.
I'm not a fan of this Dickety-dee slogan.
Dickety-dee?
Dickety-dee. Good biggity bye. Jeez. Mr. D is better than Ronald McDonald? Shut the front door.
Whoa, diggity-dee.
Mr. D is literally like the most boring milk toast. He's a terrible mascot.
The old Rack's commercials were way better.
Way
the,
better.
Like, cheesy 80s.
Yeah.
Like
they went from like having like this almost racist advertising, like this culturally appropriating everything for this white family to have a fucking down south rib sandwich or whatever. And it was great. Then Mr. D comes, Dickety D comes in. He's like, I suck at life, and I want you to know if you come to Rack's, you
I
can
just
have
had some very delicate surgery.
you can have a shitty salad bar.
Can't squirm around for change.
Mr. D seems morally compromised. If anybody who ends the sentence with Diggity D does not need to be putting meat in my mouth. Yeah, Ronald McDonald helps sick children. You guys are terrible. Mr. D made children sick.
I don't know. Maybe he did.
Who knows?
I wouldn't put it past him.
He's a sicko. Calypso lemonades are tasty. Are we just nodding off things we love? Calypso doesn't make a good lemonade. Come on, obviously. But is this just a commercial now?
It is. I think we're going to wrap it up. It was a wonderful night with all of you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys who showed some love tonight in the super stream chat.
Sign up for the Motherload. Get yourself the Motherload because there's an amazing shirt available.
The band shirt.
Right there. The Zebra Effect.
The Zebra Effect for all you affectionados. For you affectionates
Have our
out
beautiful
there.
faces on a shirt. Sign up, $50 and above at any point during this month.
Everybody buy this shirt and wear it to their concerts now that COVID's over. Go to concerts. Be like, what band is that? You're like, oh, that's the Zebra Effect. And they're like, oh, yeah. That's that Hootie from Hootie and the Blowfish? You're like, no, that's Billy the Fridge. You sickos.
Is that Hootie? Is that fucking Hootie?
Is that Hootie? No, it's Billy the Fridge.
All right. We will see you all again very soon. Have a wonderful night.
Good night.